And we live.
Yo, yo, yo. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 31 of the MMAHOLICS. Antoine, and this is the boy Nikki right here, most definitely. Yeah, we're doing a late night edition. I haven't done one of these in a little bit. At one point, this is all we were doing because of our schedules and stuff like
Facts.
that. For real. But yeah, how was your day, Nikki? It was good, bro.
It was a good long day at work, long night in the gym. That's it. Now we here. We
Mm-hmm.
here. Get this out the way so we can watch the card in peace tomorrow. Don't have to hold on to our picks anymore. The world could know that we know the answers to all the fights. We know who's gonna win everything.
Absolutely. And yeah, how was the sparring session tonight? Did you train today or anything like
It
that?
was a good sparring session today, man.
Mm.
I was I was definitely jabbing back and forth with someone a few times. I think so. I was just blowing my nose a few minutes ago, and I was getting dry blood. I think he must have like made my nose bleed, but nothing came out when we were sparring because I had like dry blood in my nose. So maybe that's
Really?
I don't know. That was crazy. But yeah, I had a great night in the gym. We were practicing like managing distance, in Muay Thai. So that was fun. Good night there. There's
Hmm.
jujitsu in the morning, but I can't make it because I'm gonna be fast asleep. I'm not driving to Connecticut. 9 in the morning.
Nah, I got you, bro. If anything, hey man, it's take tomorrow to recover. You feel me? Like you always got a lot of time to train, so definitely don't feel bad about that. But yeah, tonight we got this UFC 307 preview. It's pretty cool in October, man. We got two pay-per-views in October. I forgot that UFC 308 is on October 26th. So the fact that that's in the same month is pretty crazy. We got that stat card.
Yo,
Um,
pick 'em in the house. Let's go pick 'em. How you doing?
what's up, bro? Thank you so much for rolling through. Pick 'em. I love watching your content, bro. I was in your chat earlier, so appreciate you for sliding through, bro. Absolutely, always love talking to you, bro. And keep up the great streams, bro. Most definitely. And I see you rocking that new cut. By the way, I saw you cut your hair,
I
bro.
did see Pinko's guy. Yo, pick 'em. He was going live for he was in the one fight tonight, right? I think I saw
Yeah.
that on YouTube when I was scrolling by.
Yeah, it was the one fight night. They're doing those later. I used to like wake up to those, like on my YouTube feed and stuff like that. So I guess they're playing those at a different time over there. And I agree, bro. Like this UFC 307, we were just talking about it before we even got started. Um, and like, yo, like, we're gonna see what happens. Yo, I think it's gonna be a decent card. I know, like some of the fights, some people are talking about bathroom breaks and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, gotta love the fights. Gotta love high level martial arts and stuff. And again, man, no, you're fine, bro. Go ahead and get some rest. I know you be streaming like for some hours, bro. So keep putting that work in, and yeah, man, get some rest, bro. Most definitely. And thank you again for joining us. Of course, feel free to pop in and out, and just talk about the fights, whenever you want to. And yeah, I mean, we can actually pull up the topology now, so we can go ahead and take a look at the bout order and see what we're working with tonight. So yeah, like I said, it's definitely a pretty fun card, I would say. If there's anything I could change, like I mean, nothing really. I think the Aldo fight is where it should be. They actually bumped it up to the feature bout. I think the Kayla fight was
I
the
think
feature
well,
bout.
remember it was Mavsar and Aljamain.
Aljamain,
And that's what's
right?
missing. That's honestly what's missing on this card. That card would definitely, and even though people were calling that a sleep fight, two wrestlers both would historically are considered boring. I think that fight would have been very interesting, and it's definitely what this card is missing. Like it needs that kind of fight, two top ranked contenders. But we have a few of those. We have the Kayla Harrison fight. Oh, we got the Kayla Harrison fight. We got the Stephen Thompson fight. So we got some good fights on here, honestly. We got some good prelim fights. Down here we got two good prelim fights. So yeah, it's not bad at
Yeah,
all.
exactly. And like I feel the same way, man. And even like with the Aljamain fight and like the Mobsar, like for me personally, like they were talking a lot of shit online, on Twitter and stuff like that. They were like making videos about each other and stuff like that. Can we see who Topology was picking?
I'm gonna guess right now it was Mobsar. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, probably. Yeah, I mean, Sterling, yeah, 41%. Evloev, 59%. And like, I could see why people would pick that. Aljamain, this would have been this is his second fight at featherweight. I think they just rescheduled it for 310 in December, so they just pushed it back, which is really good to see. They kept this matchup. I do really want to see this. I think it's really like a make or break fight for Aljamain at featherweight. It really encapsulates like all in one, like his potential in the division. Like, obviously this guy's going to be here for a while at 30 years old. So if he could come out here and actually get the victory against somebody like this, undefeated and young like that with a lot of momentum, I think like the sky's really the limit for Sterling at the bantamweight division. I mean, at the featherweight. Obviously, he won the championship in one division. Obviously, the illegal knee happened, but he won it the right way versus Petr Yan at UFC 273. And it was cool to see the run that he went on, minus the TJ fight. TJ fought injured, but he still went on to beat Henry Cejudo. So it was just cool to see him get those title wins. And even when the Sandhagen submission, obviously we've seen what Aljamain is capable of. So it would have been cool to see him really face that top tier featherweight competition. But again, they rebooked it. So it is cool that we're actually still going to get to see the fight. And yeah, what was your thoughts on the matchup before it was canceled?
Like I said, I was excited for it. It's different when you got a wrestler versus like a dominant wrestler versus someone who can't really counteract it. But
Right.
It's Aljamain that he's going against, so it's not an easy matchup. I mean, Aljamain takes the back better than anyone in the UFC, in my opinion. I think I was saying that prior, I remember in our prediction to the Sean fight, that was what I was really high on. I was like, he takes the back like a spider. Him and Pantoja are really good at that. They just take your back really good.
Right.
And that was one of his best feats. And I think, in this kind of fight, it's going to be a lot of grappling no matter what. I mean, I think they both are probably confident in their stand-up. After, if I had to judge who has better stand-up, I would say Aljo, just based off the Calvin fight. I mean, he literally beat a striker on the feet, which is impressive. Right. So I was excited for it. I'm glad it's rebooked. I'd rather see, Aljamain against someone like Ortega. But if he takes a 0, it's different, I'd rather see him against a bigger name, but taking a O is better, in terms of getting that title shot if you want one. So we'll see. It's 309, right? It's getting rebooked, or is it 310?
I think it might.
I don't think it's even confirmed, right?
No, I definitely.
It's 310.
Yeah, it's 310. Okay, cool. It's in December, so yeah, they play it on the last pay-per-view of the year. That'll be a big boost to that card, like a feature battle or a co-main event, depending on how that card is going to look. But yeah, we got 307 tonight. Like I said, we got some good fights on it. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Kevin Holland's on this card. You feel me? Versus Roman Dolidze. Dolidze stepping up on short notice, I believe. So yeah. Because Holland's supposed to fight Chris Curtis. Yep. So, yeah, man, it's a good card, like I said. And, yeah, guys, we were actually going to start from the top of the card this time, just for the sake of time, because we both got to wake up kind of early in the morning. So we're going to go ahead and get, the beefy stuff out the way, just for the sake of scheduling. And, yeah, starting with the main event of UFC 307. Obviously, y'all know how we like to do the main events. So both of us get a chance to discuss it. One person breaks down the champion while the other breaks down the challenger. So you can break down Poatan. Skinny.
Yeah, you always give me the better fighter. I appreciate it. But we got Alex Poatan Pereira, a beast. One of the most exciting fighters, if not the most exciting fighter right now in the UFC. He's I don't know his pound for pound ranking, but in my opinion, it's nothing under 2. In my opinion,
I think he's 3 right now.
Current 2. Oh, he is 2. Okay, I think winning this fight right here throws him right at 1 until Islam comes back and wins another fight. I mean, his run's been crazy. I think in the last 11 months, he's won 4 fights. Yep, and it's all been title fights. He beat Yuri Prochazka twice, won his belt at UFC 295 as the replacement fight for John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. After that, he knocked out Jamal Hill with a vicious uppercut left hook. I don't even know what it was, but it was beautiful after making a highlight moment by stopping Herb Dean from stopping the fight. After that, he knocked out Yuri Prochazka And then after that, Yuri stood up and got knocked down again just by his presence. And now he has Khalil Rountree. Just going over Alex Pereira's UFC career. We've talked about it a lot, but he's beat how many champions now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 champions at this point. So he's making an insane resume for himself. Straight knockouts, and it's insane. He's a little chinny. I will give you that. If he gets hit, it's visual. It's visual. He gets hit, but he recovers really well. I feel like the narrative is slowly going away that he's just a stand-up fighter. I mean, he's shown in his fights he can grapple. I think it was the second Yuri fight he went for a guillotine, so he like at least he initiates submissions. I wouldn't say he has no grappling. I've seen some people throwing around jokes. Rountree by sub, Alex by sub. I think Alex, if he wanted to, he would be able to get a submission off. I always say this: he trains with Glover Teixeira, so they're grappling in that gym. It's high level, but yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown for him. He's coming into this fight as a huge favorite. That's about it. Is there any advantages? There's a height advantage and a reach advantage in this fight too. Yeah, a massive one.
Yeah, man. One of the greatest fighters of all time that we've seen to this date. As of October 4th, 2024, 307 pay-per-views. Definitely one of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. You could definitely say one of the greatest strikers in UFC history, without a doubt, even with the short time that he has been here. Yeah, man, it's pretty funny. I always think about how the casuals feel. I mean, that only watch pay-per-views, like maybe like the first one ever. They really want to see Alex fight this time around. They're really because there is that circumstance for one person on planet Earth tomorrow that oh man, I really want to see this guy fight. I'm finally gonna get a chance to, while sitting down with some UFC friends that probably watch it all the time. So I only say that because they probably look at him and go his record's only 11-2. You feel me? It's crazy how much he has done. With it's like Rose and Amayu, and it's she's 12-5. You feel me? It was 2-time champion. Knocked out Joanna and Whaley. You feel me? She's done so much. Guaranteed Hall of Famer both times she had the belt. She defended it. So against two other strawweights who are considered the greatest of all time. So it's crazy for Alex with an 11-2 record to have done everything that he has. And honestly, yeah, man. But this time around, he's fighting Khalil Rountree. Yeah, man. I'll go ahead and break down the challenger. Rountree is an amazing striker. Really, really great Muay Thai. When he lost to Johnny Walker via elbows, he actually took a spiritual journey to Thailand. He was out there for 5 years or something like that. He went out there in 2018, right after the Walker fight, and then there was COVID had hit when he was out there for 2 years. So he was forced to stay all of 2020, 2021. And that's when he met his wife and stuff like that. So at one point he got married out there in Thailand. And that whole trip really changed the dynamic of his whole game. He really became an even better striker after that. In the Eric Anders fight, that could really be seen in the Eric Anders fight, when he really destroyed him. Not even trying to be rude to Eric Anders or anything like that. Of course not. It was just how he was chopping the legs, dropping him every time. I think Rountree has 13 knockdowns in the division's history, which is pretty crazy. I think he's third all time or something like that. And like I said, great striker, has a really unique stance. How he'll bring up his lead knee and really use it for his defense. He'll hunch over with his shoulders. Really, really very unique Muay Thai stance for sure. Has great leg kicks, really, really good, really great left hook himself. Has a really good left hook, a lot of power in it. He has a lot of momentum himself. He's coming in on a 5-fight win streak. So I mean, say what you will. When you're beating that many grown men in a row, you feel like you can defeat literally anybody. And if you look at his pre-fight press conferences and things of that nature. He's actually been really confident coming into this fight. I saw him talking to Mighty Mouse, and he really feels like he can pull it off. I watched the press conference, and he said the only thing holding me back is myself. Of course, he showed a lot of respect to Alex Pereira, like he most definitely has to. But at the end of the day, anything can happen in a fight, and that's really it about his skill set. He's a great striker. He said in a lot of interviews leading up to this fight, he's not going to shoot for a takedown. So we're obviously going to see this play out on feet mainly. I know he has physically wise, he's at a major disadvantage in this fight. You could say maybe he's the faster fighter, but I know there's some that would disagree with that and still think Pereira is the faster striker. I think the main thing going for Khalil Rountree going into this fight, he has to close the distance in dynamic fashion. He has to not give Alex any space to even throw any head kicks, any teeps to the body, anything like that. It has to be constant pressure. But while he does that, he'll be in the pocket, liable to get knocked out by that left hook at all times. So it's really it'll be really interesting to see the kind of approach he takes in this matchup, seeing that he really has to strike. And shout out to Marlon.
That's a good point.
Nah, yeah, he's right. And of course, like I said, when you've beaten 5 guys in a row, you feel like you can defeat any man. Like I said, you feel me? And he's a really great striker. Anything can happen in a fight. It's all oh man, it's never gonna happen until it does happen right in our faces and stuff like that. But yeah, that was everything I really needed to say. He's on a great win streak. Say what you want about the competition, of course, like Chris Daukaus, Carl Roberson, Anthony Smith. Obviously he knocked out Gokhan Saki, who had a lot of hype. He's a legendary kickboxer, and Khalil knocked him out in the first round. And finished him with a hammer fist, legendary hammer fist for sure. And yeah, man, I just think this fight is going to be really electric, to say the least. At least with how long it lasts. And that's really about Rountree. Like I said, for the last time, great striker, fast striker, great Muay Thai, great elbows, great leg kicks, decent body kicks for sure. Has really fast body kicks, really fast leg kicks. Oh, and I will say one of the main things going for him in this fight is that oblique kick. He used it to finish Modestas Bukauskas, and he kept Bukauskas out for a year after that, before he came back in Cage Warriors and won a Cage Warriors title. And now Modestas is back in the UFC. But Khalil Rountree knocked him out and kept him out for a year because of that oblique kick. I think that's the biggest thing going for Khalil Rountree in this fight. Want to give a shout out to my boy Eustace in the chat. Thank you so much for joining, bro. Always love talking to you. You feel me? And yeah, man, I think that'll be Rountree's biggest weapon in this fight, is definitely the oblique kick. It's nothing that Pereira has not seen before, but I just think it does so much damage. I hope it'll just destroy the knee. And there was actually, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking to Israel Adesanya. That episode just came out yesterday, and he said that he found out that Pereira's knee was messed up. His knee was messed up going into the Yuri fight, the first Yuri fight in New York at UFC 295. When he finished him with the elbows and he rolled off and stuff like that. He said that he rolled because his knee was so bad he didn't want to put pressure on his knee. Clearly, we've seen Pereira have injuries in the cage before. When he knocked out Prohaska the second time, he broke his toe in the cage and had to put it back inside of the cage. But of course, like I said, anything can happen in a fight. And that's the last thing I'll say for Rountree. That's his biggest weapon going into this fight, is that oblique kick. I think he uses it really well. But of course, we just got to see what happens. Anything can happen. It's a fist fight at the end of the day. And these guys are professional assassins. And yeah, man, you gave the first breakdown. Before I get to the pick, though, just definitely want to show what the chat is saying for sure. To buff the fight at elevation. And I get that. That's another factor of this fight that I did not even consider, is that this is in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is an elevation. If you're watching the embeddeds, Pereira's running up the mountains of Utah, just really trying to get his cardio right. And Yeah, that too. If I had to bet who has the better gas tank, I would definitely say Alex Pereira. He's training for like all of his fights are 5 round fights. If he loses this, he's gonna get an instant rematch. That's another 5 round fight. Like I don't even think Rountree had like a main event leading up until this. I think this is really like his first UFC main event. Um, and yeah, man, like we're gonna see how it goes for him. You feel me? But who are you picking in the main event of Ultimate Fighting Championship 307?
Well, I do think Roundtree is an underrated opponent. I think the Muay Thai style is very good to go against a kickboxer like Alex. Like his best feature, you think the oblique kick's gonna work? I don't personally think that'll work. I think Alex is such a great leg checker that the oblique kick is kind of just gonna be hitting his shin. If anything, Alex will be lifting his legs. He's very quick. He's gotten to the point with his calf kicks that he's catching outside like a lead leg kick, and he's catching it with his back leg around the back of his leg, which is so insane, honestly, that you could have the reaction time to do that in real time. And I don't think the oblique kick is going to be a weapon, but I think it's going to be his Muay Thai, his high hands in that Muay Thai stance, that when he charges in, I'm not going to say it's going to be like the Drickus, like just load up and go in, but he's going to have to close distance because Alex fights very, very long. So you're going to have to close distance with Alex. And having a high Muay Thai stance when you're stepping in, following your jab and stuff, going for a cross, I think that's going to be his best weapon, is that high Muay Thai stance. And I think this fight will be competitive in however long it lasts, but this fight will not last very long because I have Alex winning by knockout. Um, I don't remember the last time seeing Khalil Rountree just get completely chinned, but in my head I could see it, so it's gonna happen. I have Alex winning. I'm gonna go round 2 knockout. I think it's gonna be a great first round though.
Yeah, man. I'm probably gonna pick the same round, bro. I'll probably go with the second round KO for Alex Pereira. Of course, I was gonna pick him in this fight. I cannot disrespect what he has done lately. I think he's finished better fighters than Khalil Rountree. Of course, anything can happen, man. Fight. I don't ever like disrespecting the fighters. If Rountree and if round like see like even like see Marlon, I feel you feel me, like I get why you would say that because the elbows. I do want to give Roundtree his respect, you feel me, because he has improved way better since then. Like that was before he went to Thailand, and even then he
He's
lost to
like a new
Kutilaba.
fighter now, to be fair.
Right, of course, and that's why I'm saying I do want to give him his respect. He has he's grown a lot, and of course he lost to Kutelaba after that, who we just saw pick up a victory. At the other card. But yeah, that was due to wrestling for real when he lost to Kutelaba. So, yeah, man, again, I just think that Pereira, it's gonna play out on the feet. Yeah, that did happen. And that and seeing a lot of people feeling like Pereira, not Pereira, but Roundtree's rather inconsistent. And he got outstruck. It was 105 to 50 strikes in that fight or something like that, And yeah, most definitely. And yeah, of course that also, adds on to our point of picking Alex Pereira. I think Pereira is really consistent in what he's done so far. The only other person to stop him aside the UFC period the only negative outcome in his UFC career was at the hands of one of the other greatest strikers of all time. Whether people like him or not, Israel Adesanya is most definitely one of the greatest strikers in UFC history and MMA history as a whole, kickboxing and MMA, of course. And yeah, man, that's the only time we've ever seen the dude sleep. You feel me? I really think if Israel would have beat Dricus, I think that was the fight that they wanted. I really do think they wanted Pereira versus Adesanya 3, champion versus champion, all that. You feel me? And yeah, again, Marlon's making some great points in the chat. You feel me? I can see why you would say that, bro. Honestly, and that's why I'm saying this is his first main event. Pereira is so used to this at this point. He knows that he's famous. He has 5 million followers on Instagram and all that. Like Pereira's famous as hell at this point. I think he could really walk down the streets of Los Angeles and get recognized. Obviously he'll stand out being super tall. But I think people would definitely know who he is, and he has like a blue Lamborghini now and all that. So he's hit a new level and out of the cage. You feel me? And yeah, and like that too, that too. You feel me? Again, just Marlon giving some great points. Before we move on, that too. This is gonna be a massive moment. Again, like I said, Pereira's used to that. He just got done headlining UFC 300 and 303. That was International Fight Week. You feel me? So he's just used to the glitz and glamour at this point. He's Dana's #1 hitman. He's coming in, parachuting into the arena, saving the events over and over. You could definitely this will probably be the last time he fights before he sits down this year. So if he does win this, obviously an extremely strong candidate for Fighter of the Year for 2024. I don't really know who else, like unless outside of Islam Makhachev. You feel me?
After this year, I wouldn't give it to him as an Islam fan. No,
or Topuria.
No, even if Topuria wins the belt and defends it,
Holloway and Volkanovski in the same year. I mean,
Alex still has 3 championship knockouts in 1 year, dude.
I was gonna say, like, it's hard to take it from Pereira. I'm not saying that he would, but I'm just saying, like, for another candidate, like, I don't know, man, like to have knocked down Volkanovski and Max Holloway in the same year, bro.
What if Diego won against Volk in December or something? Then
nah, man, like chill out.
He's had a great year.
Diego Lopez, yeah, he has to. No, he has to. Obviously, the front runner, most definitely, is for sure Alex Pereira, and that's it, yo. We're gonna see what happens. You feel me? And that's crazy. I got a text message. My bad. But we're gonna see what happens, yo. But moving on to the co-main event. Gotta show the ladies some love, of course.
As much as we can.
Right.
We advocate for women's fights, like a lot. We do try. But I'm not gonna sit here and just roll over to every women's fight just to advocate. This fight does not move anything for me. And now, yes, I want Juliana to win this fight. Spoiler alert, even though you're about to find out in a second. But after seeing the Raquel Pennington title fight, and then Pena getting a fight, people aren't even happy she's getting this fight, I am just not moved by this at all. And I'm so glad this isn't the main event. It's a co-main, so that makes up for it. Just to get into it,
right.
I definitely want this fight to finish within 3 rounds. Like, I do not want this to be a 25-minute fight, because it's not entertaining enough. Like, Raquel Pennington, her last fight, sure, she was winning in stand-up and she was winning on the ground, but it was just such it really was a snoozer last fight. And if this one goes the same way, I'm just going to be upset, like, that it even happened, And I don't mean to shit on it from the start, but it's a genuine concern of mine after getting, and not to knock your favorite fighter, Valentina, but, dude, that 25 minutes fucking sucked. I'm sorry. And yes, Valentina dominated. Those 25 minutes fucking sucked, dude. And it's late, bro. It's going to be midnight when we're watching this fight right here. The clock is going to strike midnight. This fight's going to come on. They're going to do their walkouts.
It's going to be the Bruce
Buffer. Not going to be nothing crazy. I don't even know their theme songs. And then, yes, we get the whole fucking intro. And yeah, there's going to be people definitely rooting for Juliana because she has a great history. Like, she was a champion and shit.
Great story, too, boy. Great story.
But, man, this fight does not move any mountains for me. But you go. Let me see what you got to say about this.
No, it's all good, man. First off, I feel Marlon, bro. She was looking great at that press conference. That's all I'm going to say. She looked absolutely phenomenal, like she always does. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Lane. Always love having you in the chat, yo. Thank you so much for joining us on this late night podcast. Always love having you. Avid supporter. Always appreciate your chats, most definitely. And yeah, I mean, obviously this was a feeling of a lot of people when the fight was going on. I forgot what card that was on. That was 297.
297.
Yeah. Toronto, right? Toronto. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll give my thoughts on it for sure. Like, I'm always gonna support the ladies, but it is what it is. Like, um, if dudes didn't like it that much, they just wouldn't watch it. They would like literally like just I mean, just go on Hulu, like click back and forth, see what
I mean,
happens.
dude, Kayla Harrison's literally on the card, bro. Like, I get people think she needs one more fight, but like, she's literally. I personally think she's probably the best bantamweight
In the
women's
world right
fighter in the
now.
world right now, man. And it's just like, now we have to wait another. Like, she could have been on this tonight. You know, they could have put her, but
I mean, she's ranked number 3, like for real.
Juliana wanted her fight. She wanted her years later rematch.
And see, for me, like that's another thing. I ain't even addressed that part. Want to give a shout out to Western Mass Climber. Also talking to you, WMC. Thank you so much for joining us, bro. Yeah. see, at least Lane stands on business. That's what I say. Like, if you don't like it, like you definitely don't gotta watch. Not in particular, just, the masses online and stuff like that.
Because I just want to see a finish. Like, there's a chance that Juliana subs her, and I want to see that. That would be exciting, and it would suck to miss. But you take a chance, and then once you start the fight, you gotta watch it for the next 24 minutes.
Of course, and like, see, for me, I was gonna say I am a big proprietor. Like, I'm a big advocate of people like getting their title shot, like when they get injured. You feel me? Like, she was supposed to fight Amanda Nunes at UFC 289. It was 1-1, no matter what people want to say about it. I always say, like, I get into arguments with my friends in real life about this. Like, I always say that flukes are not a real thing. In my opinion, I personally don't believe in flukes. I'm not the kind of person like to take away someone's like the biggest achievement of their life and say like it's a lie or it just wasn't meant to happen. Like, nah, man. Like, if you're chasing something out here, like if you're really like real blood, sweat, and tears, you can achieve anything. You feel me? And it's a fight at the end of the day. These people are humans. And Amanda Nunes had lost before that. She got finished by Kat Zingano. You feel me? Like, like she had lost before that multiple times. You feel me? Of course, she went on like a 12-fight win streak. You feel me? Where she became double champion, stuff like that. She's the greatest female fighter ever. There's no debate. But at the end of the day, like, I thought she won that fight. People want to say like it's because of COVID and stuff like that. They were supposed to fight at UFC 265 in Houston, Texas, on the Derek Lewis card. And Amanda had pulled out back then. They were rebooked for UFC 269, that Oliveira versus Dustin card. And that was like 4 months later. That would have been 2 months. She had to recover from, like, of course, it could have been like a dire case of a coronavirus, But, she was given 2 months to recover, and that was another 2 months to train, you feel me? And she still beat her. I feel like Amanda just underestimated her. She tried to finish her in the first round. Even, of course, you could say Amanda won the first round for sure, but Pena she was showing the deadliness in her game in that fight when she was tagging Kimura's off her back. She wasn't just getting like manhandled on the ground like that. She was able to scramble here and there. And yeah, like she was able to take Amanda's best shots in all of her fights. And like in both of their fights, we know Pena is extremely durable. I do believe that Pena is extremely durable. Like her chin, people are talking about her chin and stuff like that. She has that for a reason, you feel me? She took all that damage at UFC 277 and she couldn't get finished, you feel me? And yeah, when it comes to Pena, I think durability is a real asset of hers. Not just hyping her up, saying, "Oh, she's such a tough person." Like, it's a real factor of her fight style. She can get the fight to the ground. She is a pretty good wrestler. Obviously, her striking is more to be desired. You feel me? I just think in the Nunes fight, she just was really trying to because Amanda was waiting for her. She was counter striking the whole time. Which of course, if she could have came forward and boxed her up too, I just think that Juliana was coming forward already all 25 minutes, and she never really learned from the mistake. And I mean, you feel me? I just think when it comes to Juliana, she does have good wrestling for sure. Again, great chin, great cardio. She's had injuries in the past, but when she's here, she's most definitely here. And yeah, the striking's okay. She has decent leg kicks for sure. The boxing definitely has to be, a little bit sharpened up. But who am I to say that about her? Again, she's predominantly a good wrestler. I think she's a really good wrestler, and I do think she can get the fight to the ground. Obviously with Raquel Pennington, of course, we got to give the champion her just due as well. She's a great boxer. She's on like a 6-fight win streak right now. Raquel Pennington just knows how to win. She's been in the UFC for 10 years at this point, like 10 years. Of course, when it comes to her winning streak, you can say whatever you want about the competition. But yeah, like, I think, Raquel Pennington's definitely, pretty decent. Not the most fun fighter to watch. I just think it's the athleticism when it comes to Raquel Pennington. You're not going to see her do like a blast double leg or nothing like that. She prefers just to sprawl and jab. Clinch you. She'll clinch you too, clinch you up against the cage. And yeah, she's a great boxer, predominantly has a great jab. She does, great chin as well. You can definitely say Raquel Pennington does. She got beat by Amanda Nunes as well at UFC 224. Took a lot of damage herself and was able to weather that whole storm and still go to a decision. So we got two tough ladies in this fight. So if it is going to end by finish, it'll probably end by a submission. And yeah, man, like, I mean, obviously, like, my personal feeling, like, from the optics, stuff like that, I would like for Pena to win this fight. I think she's like, I low-key like think she's like better for the division, man. I think, like, when casuals see her face on say like if you watch the UFC trailer, like the cold open or whatever, the countdown, when it ends and it shows that like that pay-per-view picture of like the title fights and stuff, and it shows her face, she looks fucking good, man. Like, I don't care like who says what. She has a great face card. Regardless who don't like her personality, whatever. I'm not gonna act like Pena doesn't have a good face card. You feel me? She definitely has a pretty good face for sure. Even at the press conference, I think she was looking pretty good. And I'm agreeing with Marlon on this one. I just think, I haven't set the pick yet or whatever. I think the key for Pena in this fight is to just be really aggressive. Do not let her even get started with the jab. She knows she can take her best shots. If she can get the fight to the ground, she can definitely get some control time. She's a UFC fighter at the end of the day. It's not like she's out there just with nothing she can do. And like, nah, she's a great grappler, like a great wrestler. She can get the fight to the ground. And for Pena, like I said, she has a pretty decent sprawl. I don't have her takedown defense percentage on hand with me, but she was able to scramble out of the Mayra Bueno Silva submission attempts. She was able to survive them. So we do know that she has pretty good submission defense. And yeah, man, it's a pretty close fight, obviously. And yeah, damn, man, Marlon, yo, that was the number one point I actually had on my note.
Yeah, I did see that earlier.
He is in her training camp. I think like he's giving her so much motivation right now, like, and people can like say like, oh, it doesn't rub off on you or whatever. I do think training with Khabib did rub off on Bilal Muhammad. Like at the age of 36 years old, this man is in his prime right now. You feel me? And I do think that Shavkat fight might not be as easy as people think it might be for Rakhmonov. You feel me? Obviously Bilal had to, gain a lot of respect, which he has, you feel me? And, I'm not biased or, I definitely be objective, and I definitely respect the welterweight champion. And, I think training with him is going to do a lot for Pena. I think just like seeing how he did, like BO. I do think that is gonna rub off on Pena like 1000%. Just seeing how he won the title, like he's instilling that work ethic in her, and also she's had a really long training camp. No matter what happened with the division, she knew she was fighting for the title because Dana, they like her too. They want her. She talks shit. She talks trash. She's pretty attractive. She did a lot of media. She was on Helen, like all that kind of stuff. You feel me? Like, on Ellen. Like, I actually got interviewed by Ellen. Like, it was pretty funny. And yeah, like, yo, I said a lot about this fight. We're 40 minutes in and we're on the first two fights. Like I said, these two fights are going to take up a lot of our attention. So yeah, you can give your first pick, man. You went first, so you can definitely go first, bro.
I think this one's simple. I think it's gonna be a lot of Raquel fight winning in these like stand up exchanges just on jabs and stuff. I think Juliana. I mean, I don't think. I hope Juliana's gonna sub her off her back. I think Juliana will be in the guard and she'll get a sub off. Maybe an armbar or a triangle choke. That's what I'm gonna guess. I'll say second round. I'm not confident in the pick. I'm not confident in anything because like if I'm confident in something, it's like I said, it's gonna go 25 minutes to a decision that Raquel Pennington probably wins.
But
That's no
Pena,
fun.
like,
That's not a fun pick for me. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm taking Juliana Pena by second round submission.
damn, man, we're
Off
agreeing
the
on the
bat.
title fights, bro. That's crazy. We agreed on both title fights this evening. I was gonna go with Juliana as well. I think she can get it done, man. I think a lot of people try to play her because her personality and stuff like that. And they say it's the all women's MMA shit, this and that. Like, I really think, she's a good fighter, man. Like, no one, like, imagine like everyone was, doubting her going into that Amanda fight. Probably like everyone thinks she can't do it. You feel me? Even in her mind, she probably knew. I mean, I can't. I mean, she probably thought she could beat that bitch. She probably thought straight up, I'm gonna beat this bitch, and she did that shit. You feel me? I just think with the second fight, she didn't take the right approach. You feel me? And who knows what would have happened in the trilogy? People can say whatever they want. Oh, I actually want to mean like, hey, they said that the first time. You feel me? So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not one to like disrespect the athletes because like anything can happen in a fight, especially in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And if you watch for long enough, you know that can happen. It's happened too many times, case on case, to act like it cannot happen. I mean, Israel Adesanya was a minus 700 favorite versus Sean Strickland, bro. Like, come on, you feel me? But yeah, that's it for the title fights. We agreed on them. I do have Juliana Pena. I have her by a third round submission. I think she's going to pressure Pennington a lot in the first 2 rounds, really show her that the striking is not hurting her, and then she's going to try to get her to the ground. We'll see how the strength competition goes. If you're looking at the embeddeds, Juliana's shoulders look incredible, so she is in great shape right now. I do believe that 100%. And last thing I'll say on the co-main, because we're gonna kind of breeze through these other fights. I do agree with Marlon. Like that's the fight they want. Like, say whatever you want. I'm pretty sure there's people out there that would smash Kayla Harrison. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
She be looking fucking fine sometimes. Sometimes it's like, especially when she cuts a weight. Like, yeah. But sometimes she be looking fine as fuck, bro. I swear to God.
Like, yo, like they can swear.
She's also, but when you see her muscles, it kind of throws you off a little bit. She be looking a little too strong sometimes.
She's an Olympic athlete. Even also with that steroid shit. Like for me, like the steroid stuff, like it's like, man, I be thinking to myself, like some people like just don't like. I don't know if they go to the gym and work out, like really like see their body really develop muscle over time. Like she's a 2-time Olympic gold medal. If you think
you got to remember, she's probably the greatest judo woman athlete in the world too. At that, and judo is a very strong sport. You know what I mean? So like, she's flipping girls over her back at ease. I just think I don't think she's on steroid. If people do think so, sure. I think she has an obtainable build. She probably just fucking lifts nonstop.
She works out every fucking day, and she's
never. Like she looks like Alistair Overeem or something, dude. Like and when she cuts weight, she cuts her weight. Like you see her get like skinny as hell. So I don't know. I think it's natty.
It's just we have to realize that they have a different level of discipline. You feel me? The human body is capable of a lot of things. You feel me? All those people we just saw in the Olympics, all those. Do you see how shredded the runners be? Just track runners be so shredded. And like all their strength is in their legs, you feel me? But it's just like it's the body composition, it's how much they work out, man. She's an Olympian. That shit will never leave her. It'll just like, yo, and then like, that's the thing, like, even like with her workout regimen, she works out every day and she's never given birth. Those children are not hers, they're her sisters, but she adopted them, you feel me? And so she's never given birth. I just think like, man, come on, we gotta stop trying like these dudes, they're professional athletes, bro. Like they are, man. Like you gotta realize, and it's not like they're not like, yo, it's like if that's the case, test the whole NFL, bro. dude, everyone in
I
the
mean, dudes
NFL
are saying
loves
dudes
money and
were juiced
steroids.
when there was
Like,
USADA. You know, dudes are saying Islam was juiced when there was USADA around, and now they're
I
saying now that USADA's gone, everyone's juiced. John Jones, all these dudes are juiced. They were saying it before they were getting tested. They still get tested, just not from USADA. Like, someone just posted their 30 clean drug test. They wanted their jacket. Dudes still get tested. I just don't think it's through USADA. I think it's probably through just a UFC now at this point. So I mean, yeah, call people juiced all you want. It's been like it's happened. It's gonna keep happening. Like you know, at that point, everyone's fucking on the steroids. You know, these dudes are insane. Look how fucking big Connor got. I mean, Connor was
oh my
definitely on steroids when he
god.
was away. There's no doubt Connor was on steroids when he was away. But you got to remember, it's different. You know, he needed his bone to grow back. He needed that's different.
Of course, and like yeah, that's the thing. Also, that's also the thing with Connor too. Yeah, bro. Like, I think that's also what did it for him. Like he was on another level of medication after he broke that bone. Like we're about to move on to the feature about y'all. I promise. But like there was a video of him getting lifted into the ambulance, and if you see him scream like that, like yo, like so like I got sickle cell disease. You feel me? So like I go through chronic pain like all the time. Like that's a break. You feel me? So to see that happen, you feel me? Like he definitely was on like some massive painkillers, and like yeah, that probably like definitely had a role to play like in like him getting back in the cage and stuff. But I'm moving on though to the feature bout. Gotta talk about the legend.
Yo,
Most
shout out Taz. Taz is cooking in chat. Yeah, let's go. We on the feature bout now. We got Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. We got a banger here. I was actually just watching. Yeah, don't leave that up, bro. Don't leave that up. No one needs to see that.
I didn't see what he said. My fault. Didn't see
I
what he
was just
said.
watching the Jose Aldo Jonathan Martinez fight downstairs on the couch because one of the dudes I was sparring with today, he's new to the UFC. He's like, "Oh, I was watching that Alex Pereira guy." I was like, "You heard of Jose Aldo?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "He's fighting tomorrow. Watch him." And me, him, and our coach were all just talking about Aldo. And I mean, dude, it's crazy that Aldo. Some people are calling it like a second prime he's having right now. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think
I don't
he's,
know, man.
I think that you can. I don't think there's no. I don't think a second prime is real. I think you had your prime, and it's just that your skill set translated well into your older years. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as a second prime, in my opinion. But saying that he's now at 135 pounds and he's one fight away from the top of the division, if you ask me. Um, this is a very similar fight though to the last fight against Jonathan Martinez. I personally wouldn't say that, like, if Jonathan Martinez and Mario Bautista were scheduled to fight, I couldn't tell you who's the better fighter. They're Martinez was ranked 12th. Bautista's now ranked 11th. It's not that big of a difference. I don't think they have a huge difference in competition of who they fought. I think they're very similar. And I think Aldo just humbled Jonathan in that last fight. Like when I was watching it, he really just broke him down as a human in that fight more. I mean, he was sitting on the ground crying at the end of the fight, and Aldo had to go there and consult him and just be like, pick your head up. I mean, look at him, Aldo, he's lost fights. He lost his belt. He switched
Mhm.
divisions. He lost
In
fights. He lost to
13
Holloway.
seconds.
Lost to Peter
13
Yan.
seconds.
He's lost it all. So, and now he's at 38 years old. Apparently, he might be over 40 at this point because he gave fake documents when he came into the UFC, is what they were saying. So he might be like 40 something. But yeah, man, I personally think this fight's going to be very similar. Aldo's just going to really inflict damage on Mario Bautista in this fight. It's hard to rock Aldo. You're going to be able to punch him, get a little stunned, but to really do enough damage where it's going to gain you leverage in the fight, you have to come with everything. And I don't think this is the level of competition that will. You know what I mean? The people that Aldo has lost to, there was a big difference against this kind of competition. I think Aldo can, not saying make light work of this, I think he can get a unanimous decision in this fight, if not finish it. I'm hesitant on the finish though, because in the last fight he almost finished Jonathan Martinez, and he just hopped on him into half guard. So I'm not gonna say he's gonna finish it because he definitely could have. He just threw him on the ground and rode out of the decision. So I'm gonna say he might finish, but probably a decision in this fight. But I definitely got Jose Aldo in this one. I'm confident on that.
Yeah, man. Like, first off, like, I do want to pull up one of the messages that I saw in the chat because I do honestly agree with it. Yeah, man. Like, I think he still might be in his prime right now.
It's like when you say a second prime, you're comparing him now to when he was fighting Chad Mendes and shit. I think if you put this Aldo and that Aldo in a cage, one's gonna kill the other. You know what I mean?
See, but again, like, you can make the
He
case
was so different back then, dude.
It's right now, like, even at 38, his takedown defense is still like 91%. I think he's
a skill that translates, but he's not as quick no more.
I was gonna say, I think he's an even better boxer right now in his career, especially after training with the Brazilian Navy and stuff. He took boxing fights, you know. Okay, don't get me wrong. Is he gonna have like that?
Speed is very important in Muay Thai, and I don't think that I think it translated well into his older ages, but I don't think it's as good anymore. Not saying in a bad way it's not as good anymore, but like it's like a peak. Like you go up and up and up, and you hit the top right here, and instead of dropping, he just leveled out. You know what I mean? I don't think he fell off clearly because he's still winning fights, but it's just not the same. So to say it's a second, you could say it all you want, and I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm gonna disagree that it's a second prime. But
because and we're gonna speed it up a little bit, but like, it's with the Marab fight. If he was on the cusp of another title fight at like 35 fucking years old, like that was crazy. You feel me? He just got held against the cage, unfortunately. And that was the future champion. That was a future champion he lost to. And he took no damage. He just got held again. Not saying it's like a massive point to be like two primes and stuff. I'm just saying I still think he can really be like competitive with these two. Like, if he fought Henry Cejudo right now, and Henry's ranked like what, 6 right now, actually, if he does win this fight, that's the fight they should make. They're around the same. I mean, Henry said he wants to go back to 125, but
that would be interesting. But I mean, I think if he could get the Sugar fight, it does more right now than a Cejudo who's on a 2-fight losing streak against the number 1 or 2 contender Sean O'Malley. I think because if Aldo beats Sean O'Malley, it's like, holy shit, he could beat a recent champion versus Cejudo, where people are like calling him washed right now, even though he's not at all. But I think the Sugar fight is what he should push for if he wins this one, because Sean wants the fight. Sean wants the name on his resume.
O'Malley.
Everyone has. I mean, not everyone. Sorry, that's so crazy. But like Peter Yan has that name. Marab has the name. You know what I mean? So like, if you could get the name, get the name. Connor has the name. He wants the name if Connor got the name.
Nah, you're right. But yeah, going to my pick in the fight though, I was gonna go with Aldo to win this fight. I just think he's like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's older. I get it. Drizzy Goat in the chat was actually leaning Mario Bautista. I can see why you pick him. You feel me? He's on a great streak. I don't think he's still like, he hasn't. Well, I think he lost the same thing in his debut, but outside of that, he's looked absolutely phenomenal. Speaking of Sean O'Malley, he is a training partner of Sean O'Malley from the MMA lab. Jared Cannonier also trains there as well. And
not wooed by the comp. The Corey Sandhagen fight was in 2019, so I'm not going to hold that against you. But Brian Kelleher, Damon Blacksheart's like okay. Ricky Simone, pretty good, but it's like
his best win. 1,000. That's his best win. 1,000%.
It doesn't move needles for me, dude. It really doesn't. It's a great record, and he's a young fighter, sure, and he still has much more in the tank. But this is still a tough fight. It's not like this is an easy fight for him. This is probably his best comp he's ever had.
Yeah,
Corey. It was 2019 Corey, so I wouldn't even put that same Corey.
Right. Corey's like 27 years old.
Way better fighter now.
Oh, for sure. I agree, most definitely. But yeah, we both got out, though. We can move on to the fourth fight.
Also, shout out Lane for saying this. I wasn't really saying it in like a disrespectful way. I just saw what a UFC fighter tweeted. I forgot who it was, but someone did say they were fake documents. I just went with what I said. That's what we do over here.
Oh no, you're good, bro. Thank you for clarifying, no, Lane. I always appreciate you. Yeah, man. So interesting fight. This one is, to say the least. At the press conference, they were yapping back and forth a little more than I thought they would.
I didn't
At
watch.
least, really. Well, technically, Kevin Hall. Well, I won't say nothing. Then I won't spoil it.
No, you
still,
can spoil it. I'm not gonna watch it at this point.
you sure? Because you can still watch it before you go to bed tonight.
It's not the same.
Because, like, at least, like man, like, because it's like you're watching it from a different perspective. Like, imagine if the weigh-ins were before the press conference, and now, like, if the press conference was the night before the fights, that'd be lit, bro. In my opinion, that'd be super lit. But yeah, it's a close one. You can go with your first pick in this one if you want to. Go ahead.
All right, so this is a middleweight fight, right? So now we have middleweight Kevin Holland, which is interesting. Yep. I think he's more comfortable at middleweight, less weight cutting. With Roman Dolidze, he does everything all right, but he doesn't mix his martial arts well. He's a very good wrestler, and he has stand-up, but just like the in-between is just like like to get from one to the other, he's not like super impressive in my opinion. But if he has a great 15 minutes of wrestling, right, he could hypothetically win this. I don't think Kevin Holland's someone you hold down for 15 minutes though. He's just too tricky. Very great athletic.
Game too.
Great submission. He's dangerous everywhere, and he gets surprise finishes. Personally, I'm taking Kevin Holland to finish this in 2 rounds. It's simple. He's just a dangerous fighter. Dolidze is good, but not. You just got to be able to do it all and mix it well together against someone like Holland. Like,
right.
I just don't think he's not going to be able to take down Holland at ease, and that's what you have to do. Like everyone who's really beaten Holland has pretty much just taken him down at ease. The JDM fight was a little different. JDM just outskilled him in my opinion. But yeah, if you got like Hamza Chimaev him, just take him down and that's not happening here. I'm taking Kevin Holland finish. I'd like to see a sub. I like Kevin Holland when he gets some submissions. It's like fire,
Yeah, man. Damn, bro, we keep agreeing. I was gonna go with Holland too in this fight, bro. I know a lot of people online got him getting wrestled going into this matchup, bro. I feel like when I mean, again, he just said he wants the presser. He called out Roman Dolidze, say, "Nah, you're a bitch. Nah, you're just gonna try to take me down. Like, you're not gonna strike. You're not gonna strike, and you're just gonna be a bitch try to take me down." Like, see, for me, I get it. This could be considered kind of a gambling fight. You could say, like, I don't think Holland's going to be like all buddy and shit in this fight. I do think he knows he has to win this matchup. He looked really serious in the media day, really serious at the press conference. He doesn't fuck with this dude at all. I don't think it'll be like the MVP fight. He's trying to dap him up and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be like that. You feel me? This is an elevation, so we'll see who does gas first. On the feet, I think Holland's going to be way faster when it comes to striking. He has a really big reach advantage in this fight. It just depends how he tries to use it. And I will say that, Dolidze is probably the best underdog on this whole card, in my opinion, outside of Juliana Pena, in my opinion. Some people have Dolidze as a lock this week for sure. I can see why they would, obviously, like, if he chooses to wrestle, it could be a bad night for Kevin Holland. I just think Kevin can get it done on the feet as well. And he has a really good submission game off his back. He has really good sweeps as well. We'll see how it goes. And again, appreciate you boys hopping in the chat for sure. Always appreciate the opposing opinions. Anything can happen in a fight.
It's just dangerous to wrestle someone who's so good at submissions. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you probably can. You probably can hold him down, but like not for too long. It's come to a point where Holland just frames himself up and he throws those legs around your neck or something, or he grabs an arm like the last fight against Michael Olejetsky. How do you pronounce it? Olejechuk. Like, it came out of nowhere, and dude, it just happened quick. It's quick, dude. And it's not even the fact that he broke his arm. It's just the fact that he locked in that submission, and that's all it takes sometimes. You never see it coming. You know, you're on top and you want to start throwing some strikes now, and you forget the one arm in, or both arms in. You know, like it just happens. So yeah, I just think it's this fight being people's lock is pretty crazy to me. I wouldn't put this as my lock at all, and I would
And like
never put Holland unless Holland's fighting a top 5 fighter. He wouldn't be the lock to fight like his opponent. And yeah, they say Holland plays too much, but he doesn't always. He really doesn't always. You know, I think the Stephen Thompson fight started that narrative that he doesn't really care and he jokes
he
around.
could have won that fight. He was landing some really good shots
Yeah.
on the feet, right? And he could have held him down and stole that round. Like that was like round 3 when that shit happened. You feel me? And like he could have took that shit. You know, of course his hand was gonna break regardless, but it is
If he
what it
wanted
is.
to win that fight, he would have through wrestling. It's as simple as that. But he wanted to stand up with a legend, and he got smacked up.
And again, like I see why Jersey would pick Holland. I'm not Holland. Pick Dolitze. I think I gotta watch the weigh-ins just to watch them face off and stuff. Holland is pretty big himself. He's like frame wise, like muscular wise, you could definitely say Dolitze has it. But I think Holland, like metrics wise, like measurement wise, he has the longer reach by a mile. And he's the taller dude, of course, by 1 inch though. But yeah, we could definitely got to speak up a little bit for sure. But yeah, moving on to the pay-per-view opener. So just a few minutes ago, Lane had actually said that they were gonna put money on Kellen Vieira. So I mean, hey, wherever you're confident, spend that money. You feel me? Like anything can happen, like we always say. But yeah, I can take this one first since I gave you the last one. I got Kayla Harrison, obviously. The UFC paid a lot of money for this woman. Coming out of PFL, she had a lot of hype for years. She wasn't fighting really anybody. The girl she lost to, she beat 2 times. I think 3 times already. I think they fought a 4th time or something like that. And she lost to Larissa Pacheco, and that was a great win for Pacheco. But I think I still think for Harrison, like that was probably a matter of motivation. And again, Pacheco, she had a lot of film to learn from her mistakes, like you're fighting a fighter who beat multiple times already. You feel me? So she really had nothing else to prove in the professional fighters league, and she's here now. So it's really cool to see that she actually came over before she retired. Similar to Michael Chandler, we're actually going to see how she would have done when she would have fought these girls. I know she's 34 now, but I do think she's in her prime because she hasn't taken nearly amount of damage like that. I've never even seen her bleed in the fight. So I think, when it comes to Harrison, she has devastating elbows. She has decent boxing. She can use it to close in and get the takedowns. She's a great judoka, obviously. She's a 2-time gold medalist. She does use the judoka in her fights.
I think Ketlin's a black belt in judo also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a black belt. I think she has jiu-jitsu and judo. She has 2 black belts. Like she said last night. Yep. And it's cool. It's cool you know that without watching the press conference. But yeah. So for me, he said it was a Ketlin's hair care. She did look good last night. She did look good. I will say that she did look pretty fucking good last night for sure. And yeah, bruh. So for this fight again, Harrison has all the momentum. Again, like that red strike, that that it is what it is. Like that she beat that girl multiple times, and when she had a fire under her, she went in and absolutely destroyed Holly Holm. One of the greatest female fighters ever herself, and she went in there and beat her, and they made her the number 3 ranked fighter off 1 fight. You feel me? So obviously they're trying to get their money's worth right away. They're not going to play any games with her. And like I said, that's her skill set. She's a great grappler, phenomenal grappler. She has great elbows. Decent boxing. Again, really just she throws the punches to close in and get the takedowns. She does have good takedowns, good double legs, decent single legs. Really predominantly uses judoka to get the fight to the ground, and devastating ground and pound. Probably the best ground and pound artist in the whole division, to be quite honest. Really phenomenal ground and pound. It's really fun to watch. It's different when it's that dynamic, when she really when she's that aggressive. Because some just get the crucifix and just get points and punches. She really tries to finish the fight every time she gets it to the ground. She made the weight last time. She looked really good. She made the weight successfully. Definitely has another level of discipline. I really feel that way. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. Um, if I had to give my pick off the top, oh shit, my bad. Also with Ketlen Vieira, she's a pretty well-rounded fighter herself. Decent boxing, decent leg kicks and decent grappling as well. Pretty strong female, really, really strong grappler, can really hold you up against the cage. Like for long periods of time, has good jujitsu as well. If I had to pull up her statistics, she's 14-3, obviously. And she has 4 wins via submission, and she's never been submitted. So if Kayla does get the submission, like Drizzy Goat picked her to get, it's gonna be pretty impressive for her to finish the number 2 ranked bantamweight by submission, which she's never lost via submission. And yeah, man, Vieira, she beat Candy Piansad. She lost to Pennington a fight ago, but it was a split decision. And she beat Holly Holm. I thought Holly Holm won that fight. I will be quite honest with you. And it was a split decision, so that lets you know that it could have went the other way. And she beat Misha Tate, who was basically coming out of retirement. For me, I do think that Kayla Harrison's going to get the job done. Like I said, Ketlen Vieira, she's a decent striker, really well-rounded, honestly. Better grappler than she is a striker. Like I said, she has 4 wins via submission. And she only has 2 knockouts in her entire career. She has 6 wins. She has 8 wins via decision. So really prefers to just point fight you to a decision, control you on the ground, chase a submission. And yeah, lately she's been going to decision in her fights. Most of her fights have been decisions lately. So outside of the Iranian Aldana fight where she was knocked out with a devastating left hook, I watched that live. That was crazy. That was absolutely wild. And yeah, I was gonna go with Kayla Harrison in this fight. I think she'll just be extremely aggressive from the opening bell, try to really prove a point, especially with everything Ketlen Vieira said during the breakdown. I mean, not breakdown, during the press conference. I think she's gonna go out there and try to really tear her head off completely. Not saying she will. That's what she's gonna try to do, and it's gonna be a crazy fight. At least until someone gets a victory. I do think it'll be rather entertaining, but I just think Kayla's going to show her strength advantage from the very beginning, and I think she's going to get a second round TKO for Kayla Harrison. I think the first round she's just going to beat her up on the ground, a lot of elbows, really take the momentum away. Maybe even go through a little adversity trying to get the fight to the ground. I think Ketlen Vieira is the bigger girl. Because Kayla, she's 5'8". Kayla is a minus 1,100 favorite going into this fucking fight, bruh. Like, I mean, it's whatever, bruh. I mean, that just lets you know what's about to happen. Of course, like I said, betting odds mean nothing. She's a minus 1,000 favorite, and she is going to look like it. We might be seeing a future champion here, man. I'm not gonna be on. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. We might be seeing a future champion, and I'm gonna go with Kayla Harrison, bro. Most definitely, second round TKO. Grounded.
I'm picking Kayla Harrison in this one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's gonna finish necessarily. Like Ketlen, I feel like can match the grit of Kayla, but then it comes to a point where it's just like dominance is different than grit. Like you could be as gritty as you want. But when Kayla just we haven't even seen Kayla like fully utilize all the UFC tools yet. I don't think we've seen her throw the elbows yet, dude, and that's a big thing, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm taking Kayla in this one. Just keep it simple, There's nothing twisting my mind about that.
Not at all, man.
I think she can finish it. If she doesn't, she still wins it. If you really want to bet on her, pick your choice on how she wins, but for me, it's just I'm taking her to win. The odds suck. Minus 1,100 is stupid, but I got Kayla winning.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we could be seeing a future champion. Like I said, man, I picked Pena in the co-main event. These fights will take place. This is the pay-per-view opener, so these fights will take place of like 2 hours apart from each other. So when that countdown happens, you know it's gonna be like, but a couple hours before the title fight, and then it's gonna show like Kayla get the win and stuff like that. Like they always do this kind of stuff, you know. It's like when they put Piotr Jan and Sean O'Malley on the same card as Henry, not Henry, TJ Dillashaw, Aljamain Sterling. Like they always do these mini tournaments sometimes. So it is really cool to see them do it this time around. They like, yeah, man. Like I'm honestly looking forward to her performance. I think she's gonna get the victory, like I said, and like that's it, bro. Most definitely. And yeah, moving on to the prelim portion. I want to thank y'all again for joining us. Again, in case y'all are joining late, we did the pay-per-view first, and now we're going to sweep through the prelims right quick. Because like I said, we both got to wake up kind of early. So we're gonna go ahead and get these done for y'all. Again, thank you again for joining us for the pay-per-view. And again, like enjoy these prelims with us. So yeah, bro, we got Joaquin Buckley versus Wonderboy. This could have easily been on the pay-per-view due to the name value. I'll go ahead and let you break this one down first. Go ahead, bro.
Super excited for this one. So everyone thought Wonderboy was gonna get the MVP fight. I think people were thinking the Ian Gary fight. They thought all these different things. They gave him a killer for sure. The level of that killer, so I'm mixed on Joaquin Buckley because I was very high on him. And it just comes to a point where it's like, how far can he go in the UFC? I really don't know. I think he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He has a lot of power, great kicks and all. But he does tire out when he loads up everything. You know, remember when like Justin Gaethje used to just throw all his power in every punch? I don't know, like, if he's gonna switch that up and ever. Apparently, he said he's gonna try and take down Stephen Thompson in this. I don't know how well that's gonna go. You know, you're not Shavkat. You know, you're not just gonna get him down at will, in my opinion. But this fight has a lot of potential on the stand up if it stays at stand up. There's going to be a lot of range for Buckley to clear, especially the way Stephen Thompson fights. He's very quick with his kicks. He's very good at managing distance. But Buckley carries a lot of power. If he hits him, he could definitely wobble him. Any punch Buckley connects is going to be a big, like, oh, from the crowd. But it's in Salt Lake City, so I mean, I was watching the Ruzi Boa fight, and he finished those last 15 minutes. He was like, just with his punches, you know, and that's in a regular fist. So now imagine a Salt Lake City, he'll be like that in the second round. Yeah, it's gonna be a high output fight, and at high altitude, it's dangerous for him. Will it affect Wonderboy the same? He's 41 years old and a half. But I necessarily don't think he looked bad in the Shavkat fight, you know. Before
that
he got
his
taken
last
down.
fight? It was. Wow.
Yeah, that's why they were trying to get him an easier fight, but
wow.
I mean, this is definitely an easier fight. Yeah, and then Stephen Thompson just puts together really good combos. He knows how to hurt you with his second punch. It's not always the first punch. You know what I mean? Like, he's very good at mixing up the strikes. I think Buckley has to wrestle. I think it's that Buckley has to wrestle if he wants to win this one. I don't think he wins this fight on the feet. What you got?
So for me, personally, like, I think at this point, like, Joaquin Buckley has withstood any test they've tried to give him at this point. He went in there at 5'10", and he fought the 6'5" Sultan Ruzi Boev. Like,
what about Chris Curtis? He was chasing the big bear all fight, got put out in one punch.
And like, see, like, and I get it. Like, he did get KO'd. Like, I think, I mean, for one, that was a weight division up. I do think at welterweight, he is a completely different fighter. Like, you know, just really with his body composition. Like, those 15 pounds make a massive difference in my opinion. And like he's really good at using his speed to his advantage. He also has really good footwork as well, and he's so supremely athletic. Has one of the greatest knockouts of all time, of course, on the current PFL light heavyweight champion, Impa Kasanganay. And yeah, like again, like Nikki made a great point, with that pick. You feel me? I mean, not pick, but with the Chris Curtis KO. But again, I really feel like again I was up at middleweight, and I just think like he's really unlocked a new level since then. I really feel like he's a whole like damn near a whole different fighter. I really feel that way. Like that was his last loss, of course. And it was almost 2 years ago, man. I really feel like when you take a knockout like that, it really changes you. You feel me? Like, in your approach and how you're going to like move forward in the fights from then on. You feel me? So, like, after that, he KO'd Andre Fieldhouse. And of course, you can't really take too much away from that because his chin is, I think he got knocked out on the regional scene after that, Andre Fieldhouse. And he beat Alex Morono. He knocked out Vicente Luque. Of course, Luque's not really looking the best as of late. But then, like I said, his last fight, he beat the taller Sultan Ruzi Boab. This 1,000% is his biggest step up in competition. We're really gonna find out how good it really is. Are y'all talking about the Joker in the chat? Y'all are absolutely hilarious, bro. I
was about to see that tonight, honestly, but I canceled our tickets. First of all, I got spoiled on Twitter, but I was so happy when I did because when I saw the ending, when I heard about the ending, I'm so glad I didn't go to see it. I heard it was stupid. And then it's a musical. Like I'm not into musicals, man, at all whatsoever. It's not my thing.
For real. I wonder if Gaga had something to do with that when they were going over.
Well, it was her first movie, and I think they wanted it to be a musical for her, but to pick the Joker as her musical movie makes no sense in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Like, me, I mean, of course, on a 2-second side note, like I love Heath Ledger. You feel me? He will always be, of course, my favorite Joker, obviously. Rest in peace. He won an Oscar for that role, but he died before he could accept his Academy Award for playing the Joker. And yeah, even then for Joaquin Phoenix, that's one of my favorite actors. Most definitely one of my favorites. He's actually done a lot of roles.
Oh, is that why they brought up the Joker? Because Joaquin Phoenix?
I think Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
It would have to be, yeah, for real. Joaquin Phoenix. His brother was a really good actor too, River Phoenix, but he passed away. Yeah. And yeah, like for real, Heath Ledger, like hell yeah, most definitely. Like that's like all that was 2008 when he did The Dark Knight Rises. So like all these years, 16 years later, I still think Heath Ledger. That was his last film. He died after that. So like for real. But yeah,
I like the Joker, the first one. That was a really good movie in my opinion. I think The Dark Knight was like amazing, but The Dark Knight Rises. But this Joker, the first Joker movie was good. I don't know what the fuck they did with the second, but the first one was really good.
The last thing I will say before we get back to the fights, I really wanted to go see the Robert Pattinson Batman. I thought they were gonna like intertwine those two.
Did you see the first one?
Nah, I haven't
Go fucking watch that. I think so. The second part comes out 2 years from yesterday. It comes out in 2 years from yesterday. 2 years down the line. And I think after that, there's a possibility they'll do Bateman. I think it's Bateman, right? Bateman and Phoenix together.
Yeah, our friend was talking about this, saying the Penguins really, because it takes place in the Robert Pattinson, that universe for that Batman. Yeah. So our friend Amir told us to watch that. So I'll probably get around to watching that for sure.
You have to watch that first Batman movie. It's really good. It's not like a lot of people don't like it as much because it's not like the beat 'em up Batman. It's more like
it's like a story builder for sure.
It's a good ass story, dude.
I heard it was like 3 hours. You feel me?
I think we were in the party talking about like the part, or it was a different party. But like you keep thinking the movie's gonna end and it doesn't. It was a long movie.
For real? Nah, I like it. Down. Nah, for real. As long as it has substance, I'm always down with that. Like, The Wolf of Wall Street, that's like 3 hours, you feel me? But I enjoyed every minute. But yeah, we can definitely talk about the shows when we're done for sure. I'd love to. But yeah, to finish off this fight though, yeah, man. Me personally, bro, I was gonna go with Joaquin Buckley in this matchup, man. I think it's like do or die now for Joaquin Buckley. Like, how good is he really? I don't think he's gonna go out there and get real kick knocked out and like, it's not like that. Like, back to the fights. Nah, yo, we're definitely gonna chop it up. And we actually talk about a lot of stuff in here. We actually like to. And when we're done, we can definitely talk about that for sure. Cause I wanted
Join
to
the
go.
Discord. It's in the comments. Join the Discord. Y'all could get chat. We got no one in there, man. Get in the Discord. We could get talking about it nonstop.
Oh yeah, for sure, and we're gonna continue to build that most definitely. I wanted to see that Joker movie because it is rated R, and I like rated R superhero movies like Blade with Wesley Snipes and stuff like that. But yeah, man. So yeah, bro, I just think again with Joaquin Buckley, I really feel that like he's either turned a corner or he hasn't, and we're gonna find out in this fight. Wonder Boy's fighting the younger, fresher, faster fighter in this matchup. Joaquin's 30 years old in his prime right now. He's a minus 220 favorite. So he is coming in as a pretty big favorite over the former two-time title challenger. So for me personally, like, man, I just think Buckley can get it done, bro. I know a lot of people are still kind of skeptical about him, and it's hard to let go of Wonder Boy, man. Not like you want to let go. He's still a good fighter. He still has great footwork, and just trying to spoil the movie.
It should be in the comments, but I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now for everyone.
No, you're good. Thank you so much for joining, Chris Mystic. Love talking to you, bro. Love those kind of conversations. Like even mid podcast, I love doing stuff like that. And yeah, bro. So with Wonder Boy, like the last thing I'll say is how much more can we get out of him at almost 42 years old, bro? Like how much more can he's almost 40. I'm like for real, bro, in the welterweight. So it's just like we got to really see what's going to really happen with his career at this point. When he got finished, how long ago was that? It's Shaka. You can't say
Curtis, it was 3 years ago, right?
Nah, the Ratmana. Nah, Shaka. Yeah, Shaka. Yeah, that was 9 months ago.
The end of the last year, right?
That was almost 2 years ago now.
That was on the December card. That was the Colby Covington card, Leon Edwards.
For sure. And yeah, you just like, we always love doing that, bro. Like, especially when we get near the end of the card, we always love doing that kind of stuff for sure, bro. And yeah, bro, again, because we got to move on. We're at an hour 20.
We'll do the MMAHOLICS Swift picks. We haven't done that since fucking last year, I feel. Lane, thank you for joining the Discord.
And yeah, bro. So for this, again, my last thing I'm gonna say, bro, how much are we getting out of Wonder Boy at almost 42? Is he does he have the physical strength to stop these takedowns? It'd be different, bro, if he was 35, he had a great sprawl, he was still really fast. You can only do Father Time is undefeated, baby. So when it comes to this, I think that just I do think Joaquin will be stronger. 1000% he will be stronger than him. Not saying he's gonna be blasted, picking him up over his shoulder and dumping him in he's not gonna be doing. He might, I don't know, but I do think he's gonna follow the game plan of his most recent losses and just wrestle. That's how you beat the striker. Wrestle. What are you gonna do? Strike with an undefeated kickboxer. Now, I will say if he knocks Wonder Boy out or something like that, that would really put Joaquin Buckley on the motherfucking map. You feel me? So, and even then, he already has a beautiful knockout with a head kick. But if you were to finish top competition like that, because I think Wonder Boy, Steven's number 9 right now. So we'll see what happens. You feel me? But go ahead and give your pick, bro, before we close out.
I got Wonder Boy. I have him winning by decision or TKO.
TKO.
I think he. Yeah. I think. Well, bro, you gotta remember if Wonder Boy does connect with you, it's gonna be it's not gonna be like a pillow hand, or like a pillow foot, a spin, an axe kick or something. You gotta remember his kicks are crazy. He's really good at striking. That's his thing, and anything he throws can hurt. What is his knockouts in his career? I mean, I know he's not getting knockouts right now. 8 wins by knockout. His last, yes, he has losses. He's fought good competition. I mean, he beat the shit out of Kevin Holland on the feet. I know they had the gentleman's rule. It has been a little while since a knockout. Spinning back 2016. Not really helping my point, but still, it's not like What do they say? Power's the last thing to go, and he's a quick fighter as it is. I don't think he looks slow in the cage. I think the way he fights his karate stance, he takes up a lot of the cage. So yes, for me, I am taking Wonder Boy. I'm not confident in it. It's not a lock, but I'm taking Wonder Boy.
Yeah, I get it, bro. Underdog pick of the night. You feel me? But yeah, yo, we can go ahead and do these swift picks for these prelims. Again, thank y'all so much for joining us. Really do appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. So this is an interesting matchup. I'm not gonna lie, but for me, I was gonna go with Yasmin Lucindo in this matchup. I know Marina Rodriguez is really experienced, obviously. I just think like the 15-year age gap will show itself in this matchup. I think Yasmin Lucindo, even though she's young, she has a lot of experience. She was taking professional fights like 14 years old, which should not have happened. I will say that straight up. Like if not saying her parents did a bad job, their baby girls in the UFC right now. But like if I had a daughter, like man, 14, like fighting grown women, I don't know, bro. And a lot of those fights, she would have won if they didn't get a chance to fight the younger version of her, and it's just like they got the jump on her because of that. But she's 16-5 right now, 22 years old, like I said, 3-1 inside the UFC, but she lost to Yasmin Howergy. Looking back on it, I think if they had a rematch, she could win that fight. We're seeing Howergy just get decimated by these power punches lately. We saw her at the UFC Noche card where she got knocked out by Ketlin Souza, and that was absolutely insane. Like that was absolutely wild. You feel me? But yeah, like I said though, I do think Lucindo is a really good fighter. Really, really aggressive striker, really fast striker, diverse skill set, pretty well rounded. She has 8 wins via KO and 3 via submission and 5 via decision. She's never been knocked out, and that's out of 21 fights. So she is extremely durable and has so much room to grow at 22 years old. She'll be around for a really long time. I'm pretty sure the UFC gave her like one of those 6-fight deals because they would love to have her in the division and have her be a homegrown product. When she had her debut, I think she was still a teenager, maybe. She was 21 when she fought Brogan Walker. So she was like 20 when she made her debut. Yeah. So, like I said, she came in at 20 years old. So I think we're going to see this girl really go on to do something special. And this could be a massive step up for her. I get it. Like, I get it 1,000%. Marina is coming off a loss. Of course, she lost Jessica Andrade. It was a split, but I thought Andrade looked pretty good. Me and Nikki both picked Andrade in that fight. Want to give a shout out to Pick'em MMA. He was our guest during our UFC 300 breakdown. Really loved doing that with him that evening. That was another late night breakdown too. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, man, really enjoyed doing this. And like for me, I'm gonna go with Lucindo in this matchup. You feel me? But again, like want to give Rodriguez like her respect. Like I was saying. I just think that Lucindo's going to be way faster. But for Rodriguez, she has the experience. She's fought the way better competition. She's 37 years old, like I said, you feel me? So like that, and like especially in the strawweight division, that's really hard, you feel me? So she's 7-4 inside the UFC, and lately she's losing more than she's winning. And her last win was Michelle Watterson, and she retired not too long ago. So you definitely can't take too much away from that. So of course she beat Michelle. Yeah, she beat her, but and just then she was just on a pretty good streak, man. She was on a 4-5 win streak with wins over Amanda Ribas, Mackenzie Dern, Yan Xiaonan. Like seriously, but I just think the age has really caught up to her, and I think the UFC see that too. And I was gonna go Lucindo in this matchup. It's a close fight. She's a -190 favorite for y'all who want that underdog money. And even then, on the Tapology votes, more people are picking Rodriguez than Lucindo. I know I'm betting on potential, you could say, in this matchup, but I do think she's going to be faster, not afraid to strike. Marina Rodriguez hasn't had a knockout in a pretty significant amount of time. I can't really remember the last time she got a KO. I think she finished Um, it was Michelle Watterson with the ground strengths, but at this point in their careers, I think Lucindo could beat Michelle Watterson. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Yasmin Lucindo. This is a close fight though, and and Rodriguez is definitely one of the best underdogs on the card. Top two, you could definitely say. But yeah, who you picking?
I think both ladies are dangerous. Rodriguez is good on the feet, and she's improved her takedown defense. But I don't think it's improved enough with the takedown threat that Lucindo is. She's just very good, Lucindo, at hurting her opponents, along with her like very good takedown threat. I have her winning this one probably by a decision.
I think we had like maybe like one disagreement tonight.
Yeah, just the Buckley fight, I think.
Yeah. All right. It's funny.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what
So
happens more.
yeah. So for the next one, I was gonna go with Alex Hernandez. He's taking this on short notice. I get that. I still think he's the better fighter. He's more athletic. Like as long as he does not gas out, he can win this fight. Absolutely, whether he's wrestling or striking, I think he should wrestle. Just really wrestle his way to a victory. And like I said, I do think he has the athleticism advantage. Austin Hubbard was finished recently on the Ultimate Fighter when he fought Kurt Hollabaugh. Both guys can be broken, but Hubbard was broken more recently. And I'm not talking shit when I say that. Obviously, these guys would probably piece me up in a fight. You feel me? Just being purely objective. But I think Hernandez, he wouldn't take this fight if he thought he couldn't win it. Again, like he's 6-7 inside the UFC, really up and down. Ever since that Cowboy situation, you feel me? But yeah, I mean, I think he can come out here with a really aggressive game plan. And I agree, Chris. Like this card is pretty good. Like if you're a hardcore, like this card is good, bro. And yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Hernandez in this fight. He's way more athletic. I think he has more power on the feet. He's a better striker. If he just does not gas out, he wins this fight. So I was gonna go with Hernandez.
Bet. Hold on. Sorry.
Nice.
Just texting my boy. Our boy Bo. Just texting our boy Bo. Congratulations. All right. So for me, for this pick, I was following the underdog no matter where. So I will be taking Hubbard at the time of the fight. He has the underdog. I just think it's a very even fight. It's wrestler versus striker type of thing. Hernandez has just shown really bad wrestling defense in his last few fights, and that's what Hubbard wants. Hubbard wants to fight on the ground, and I think it's going to get there at some point. But on the other hand, the longer the fight stays on the feet, it'll favor towards Hernandez. Mm-hmm. So I think there's going to be a big what's the word? Urgency to get the fight to the ground. And Hubbard trains at Elevation in Colorado, so Elevation Fight Team 2. It's in the name. So I think while this fight favors Hernandez on the feet, I don't think it'll be on the feet for too long. Even if it is on the feet for long, Hernandez is just going to gas out on the feet compared to someone who wrestles and trains at Elevation. So I'm going to take Hubbard to win this one by decision.
Word. Yeah, man, I forgot that that Austin trains in Elevation. Yeah, man, we'll see what happens, man. Again, I just hope that Hernandez just doesn't fucking gas out, bro. Like that's it, man. I think he's faster, stronger, better striker. He just please like, and it's in Utah, man. Like it is what it is, man. Flip a coin, you feel me? Anything can happen. This is what it is, But moving on, you feel me? As we try to close out this pay-per-view. But yeah, Ihor Potieria versus Cesar Almeida. I'm really high on Cesar Almeida, man. I really want to see how far this guy can go. Like I said, I really believe, how we talked about Aldo earlier with the 2 primes and stuff like that. I do think that at an older age, these guys can still be good. You feel me? He's like 36 years old right now, bro. But I think, is he like? Would you say he could be in his physical prime, or am I stretching it?
Yeah, he's 36, but it doesn't matter if you're good right now, It just depends how long it takes him to get,
to like the
Top
rankings
only,
and shit.
yeah, how long it takes. I mean, he's 36. He doesn't want to spend 2 years climbing the rankings. So it depends how fast he could fight and how fast they push him. If he's getting knockouts, I mean, Ihor has a little name to him. You know what I mean? So this could be a big jump. He could get into a top 20 fighter after this one. We'll see.
No, I agree, bro. I agree. You feel me? Like I'm really high on Cesar Almeida. Like I said, he has great body shots. When ripping to the body with his combinations. Really aggressive kickboxer. Predominantly is a kickboxer, but he's training with Team Teixeira. So they definitely got him wrestling and grappling over there for sure. He's with a great camp. He's in a championship camp, this fighter. So that lets you know he's definitely did have a great training camp this time around. They got Alex training for a title fight, so that's definitely rubbing off on everyone in the entire camp. For absolutely it is. And Ihor Porteria, I just think this guy, man, he hasn't been the best competition in the slightest. I think anytime he does fight that like a good striker, it shows. Like when you fought Nikolai Negamarianu, and like he was the smaller fighter with the less reach and everything, and he really like destroyed him. Like, he really like beat his ass, And I know that was 2 years ago. After that, he beat Mauricio Shogun Rua. I think that was in Brazil. I think the main reason they gave that to Rua was because they probably thought he could have won that fight. You feel me? I'm not even. He hurt him at one point, like with a right hook in the first round, but it just didn't go his way, and he finished the old man, and like he got finished, and after that he got knocked out by Carlos Olberg, knocked out by Bavado, and guillotine choked in 54 seconds by Michel Pereira. I was going to go with Cesar Almeida by a first round TKO. I think he'll be the better striker, the better fighter. I think they're giving him this fight because they want him to get this victory so they can really get that show on the road. They want to squeeze as much out of him as they can at 36 years old. And like I said, I think he can go on to – I think he can be 37 like in his prime, climbing the rankings. So I really believe that. Of course, like, if the sport favors younger fighters for sure. But I think – like with his kickboxing experience and just like the camp he's training in, I think he'll go pretty far in the middleweight. So I'm gonna go with Almeida by a first round knockout.
I also got Almeida winning by knockout. I think he's really good on the feet. I think there's a big MMA experience difference here that Ihor has over him.
Of course.
And then he wants to wrestle, but it's just. You try sometimes you try and like look between the lines in these kinds of fights against dudes like Caesar and be like, if this happens, he could. I think I'm gonna trust the favorite on this one. There's certain dudes you do it with, certain dudes you don't. I don't think you do it with Almeida. I'm gonna take Almeida to win this one by knockout.
Like, yeah, bro. I think it's probably gonna happen in the first round, and Lane feels the exact same way. Great minds think alike, as we always say. 1 minute, y'all about to put this Lakers game on. I meant to put it on.
I had it on. Ronnie had an assist. That's all I really saw.
Really? He had an assist?
He's playing good. Saw Hood Stefano hit a little jumper.
All right, bet.
Mark Goddard is the ref for the main event.
Bet. Oh, what? You saw that tweeted out somewhere?
Oh, you just said it in chat. We got Mark Goddard main event. Bro, what if Rountree just throws like a fucking kick and Alex like head goes sideways and he stops the fight?
Like it's an early, like he's like.
What if Pereira just gets jabbed and he fucking falls on his back and he stops the fucking fight? Oh my, yo, whoever's in chat, if he does some bullshit tomorrow, bro, we have to just go on Mark Goddard strike somehow. We have to start something. I'll start a petition. If he does some bullshit tomorrow, we have to fucking change this shit.
Yeah, man. Like for me, me and Nikki always say this on our channel, of course. We always say that, like, if it's a title fight, if it's like the finals, like
you gotta get put out, man.
Like, yeah, bro, like you do, bro. Like,
why would you want it any other way as the fighter?
Literally. Seriously, and then I feel like that's
especially the case Rountree. What if Rountree gets put out, like not put out, and the fight stops, bro? Like this is his dream right here. He might never get another title shot again. Like
at 34 years old, it's looking pretty difficult. You feel me?
You can't take this from these dudes, bro. Put them out. Alex needs to be on his back, like how Izzy had him, bro. That's like the only way he should be put out.
Like, and that's not like it's hard to tell when a fighter's unconscious, you know.
Not
So
like
that's
not like the Chris Curtis and fucking Tom Aspinall trying to stand up and dudes throwing punches on the side of your face. That's an early fucking stoppage. Aljo Shaw, early stoppage. Bro, there's a different, and who was the ref in both of those fights. Like, I don't want to see that bullshit, dude. If you're gonna stop the fight to TKO, one fighter better be having his hands like this, and I better see 20 straight fucking punches and not a single fucking movement, dude. Don't do some bullshit, bro. Like, I'm tired of that shit, dude. I'm tired of that.
no, I agree. Yeah, man, and like that's just really how it is at this point. Obviously, we saw how Mark Goddard ruined that PFL Paris main event. That was
Just
just
look at his foot. Just look at his
like
fucking foot. If
that
there's
was
glass in the fucking
absolutely
cage, it's not the fighter's fault.
for real, like literally, bro. And that was absolutely atrocious for him. That was just showing his ego there. Like, no, I'm right, you're wrong. Do not question me. Like, you can never act like not when it's that much money on the line. Who gives a fuck about like your ego when all these people pay for this stuff, you know? But I don't think it's gonna be like that tomorrow. I think someone's gonna go out before a TKO can happen. He's in the main event. I mean, it is what it is, bro. And I think they probably talked to him, by the way, because he hasn't stopped the last few, you know. So I just hope he's not at 308. I pray he doesn't go to
And he
Abu
literally
Dhabi.
stopped the Tom Aspinall, Chris Curtis, or Chris
Curtis
Curtis.
Blades.
Chris
Yeah, right,
Blade,
right,
bro.
right,
He
right,
stopped
right.
that one, bro. That shit pissed me off. Bro, it's Kurt. Like, no heavyweight should be getting his fight stopped because he can't stand up because a 265-pound man is laying on his back. Like that just shows like, does Mark Goddard like? I'm not trying to like question him as a man, but has he like fought before, bro? Because okay, bro, you got two hands, right, and you're on all fours, and if a dude your weight jumps on your back. Now you have to like lift him up. Okay, now he's throwing punches. Nothing's connecting really. It's just punches slipping off the side of your face. You're standing up. Oh, let me block. Okay, now I'm back down lower. Okay, let me stand up. Now there's no halfway. It's one or the other. And like people are like, "Oh, you have to cover up." If he covers up, they're just going to say he was turtling. So it's just stupid, bro. There was no halfway. That's not a
Right.
dominant position. It's just laying on someone's back surfboarding, bro. No, he didn't have
No.
no leg like a body lock in. That was just a stupid fight. But let's keep moving on, man.
Nah, man. Like, you said all facts, bro. Like I see why you would feel that way. You feel me? Like for me, and even just to talk to you just right quick, bro. Like yeah, bro. Like we're definitely gonna do a breakdown for that. We might even try to get a special guest for that one. No cap, I wouldn't mind getting a special guest for that one. For real, for real. That's the card of the like. I don't want to say because I went to UFC 300, so I don't want to act like I like trying to take the money out of my pocket. Like I didn't go to the card of the year or something. But 308 is definitely one of the top 3 pay-per-views of the year, 1000%. UFC 308, yeah, bro. Like, and I get like that sometimes. Only when I really don't know what's gonna happen in a fight. I don't know the betting odds for Topuria versus Holloway.
I think
At the
Ilya's the favorite. Slight.
I was gonna suspect that he was, but I don't know by how much of a margin is
I
he.
would
He's
expect it's like 105 to 115, probably, right?
27 years old, bro. Like for real. I mean, most people. So even for Topology, it's 57% for Topuria, 43% for Holloway. If you look at Max Holloway's YouTube channel, he's training his ass off right now. He knows 100% how hard of a test this is going to be. Like it's just pretty ridiculous, bro. Like like to really not know how this fight's gonna go. Like, you know, Luke Thomas is really high on Ilya Topuria. A lot of people, even like Marcel Dorf, shout out to Big Marcel. Marcel believes that like Ilya can knock out Holloway or like get a like decision. You know, he's always been high on Ilya. And like, yeah, I appreciate you use this. Damn, bro. Jesus Christ. Now there's
Really? Is that the odds?
now, like, there will be people that do try to take that underdog money, but like I don't want to make an emotional pick when it comes to that, bro. Because like that's gonna be like that's like next level, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You feel me? I mean, we'll see how it goes. That's probably like the most high level fight this year. I will say that, and it's only because you know it's gonna play out on the feet. But to finish off this pay per view, though, yeah, man, only a couple fights left. I was gonna go with Ryan Spann, man. I just think OSP is a little bit too old at this point. They're just setting this fight up to see who has left in the tank. I get it. Age don't mean nothing, bro. I feel like if Spann, this isn't elevation. I think Spann could gas out and OSP could take over and knock him out, or something like that. But it's like for me, bro, like he fought his teammate Canadian Chukawu. OSP did Ryan Spann. And I think he's gonna learn from that mistake. Like they're gonna like go over a lot of film. Like he felt him in the cage. He's not that strong. He is strong. Whatever he was telling Ryan Spann. And yeah, bro, I just think Ryan Spann still hits as hard as a truck. He still has crazy power. And I think he knows he has to get this win. And yeah, bro. Also, I will say that Eustace, like. People were sleeping on Holloway. I was one that I picked Justin Gaethje, bro. I'll say it, bro. And I was there live when he hit the mat face first, and like that was just crazy,
I
bro.
picked Holloway.
So if he's knocking out lightweights, like I do think he can put some power onto Portia. It's a matter of the pace and the pressure. That's what I want to see. How is Ilya going to handle that pace and pressure? But we've seen Holloway struggle with shorter opponents in the past. So that's the last thing I'll say on that. And yeah, bro, Chris is picking Ryan Spann too. But who you picking, Nick? You can go ahead.
Real quick before we go, just want to let you know we used to have a special guest for every pay-per-view. We only stopped because we were missing a few fight nights and we haven't really gotten to do any cards, just me and Antoine. So we were just we chilled with the special guest because it felt like every episode was just a special guest since we were only doing pay-per-views for a little while. But we're gonna get back to it. Our usual routine would be fight nights are just us two, and pay-per-views we try and get a special guest all the time. We've had Pick'em, we've had a bunch of cool dudes on the channel. But we'll get back to it soon for sure. Just for now, just got the boys in here, doing our thing. Got to build the brand up a little bit before we bring in other people. But yeah, back to this. For me, I have Spann winning this one by knockout. There's definitely an experience difference here. A lot of fights for both fighters. 21-10, 27-17. 17. A lot of fights.
And MMA, that's a lot of fucking fights.
And OSP has seen a title fight, but that was in the past, and he's 41 years old now, 41 and almost a half. This fight is two finishers here. Spann keeps the fight on the feet. It should be very easy for him to win this one. Quicker in the fight, maybe round one, early round two. But if OSP can get this fight to the ground, he's going to be happy. He's going to be very happy. It's clear waters from there on out. I'm taking Spann though. I think he finishes it before he gets put in a really bad situation.
I agree.
Two killers in there.
Absolutely, man. It's light heavyweight. That's crazy power. Anything can happen. From 205 up, like the same rule applies at light heavyweight than it does at heavyweight. Like most of the time, if they're connecting and striking, you will see a finish at 205. Only because like those dudes are really powerful. I didn't think that Yuri was gonna finish Rakic the way he did, but he did. And Lane, hey, I said someone was gonna pick him, and hey, here you are.
I was thinking about it, but I don't know. Man, it has to go his way. It just has to go its way. It's simple as that. I know that's how all fights work. But it just has to go his way if he wants that win.
If it goes out the first round, OSP I think can take it 1000%. Like it's just a fresh Ryan Spann. I really think that like it's gonna be pretty crazy. You feel me? For OSP.
Did he retire? He retired that white dude.
Which one?
Was it him? No, I'm thinking of someone else. Never mind. I can't think of the names. There was like a white dude who retired. Who was the two dudes that fought and they rematched and then the white dude retired? It wasn't Ryan. I thought it was Ryan Spann. It was definitely in light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight?
Menefield. Why am I mixing
right.
I thought he was the one who retired Jimmy Crute.
Oh, did Jimmy Crute retire?
Did he not after that fight?
Did he? Oh, wait. Nah, I think he did say he was stepping away from the sport. Because if he hasn't fought in a long ass time, so I do believe it.
Yeah, I thought he retired after that.
That
was just a side note. I thought that was Ryan Spann who beat him.
Yeah. It says on July 11, 2023 from MMA Fighting, Jimmy Crute not retiring but intends to take time off to fix unhealthy obsession with MMA. I
It's
get
like
it,
me
man.
right now. I have an unhealthy obsession with Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu.
I get it, bro. Like, man, when you keep getting knocked, bro, like, yeah, like that's how you make money, bro. Like, you have to train, go through all that stuff just to get to the bag. Like, come, like, bro, that's and then like, of course, you have That's where the money, like, where you chill at, comes in. It's the sponsorship stuff like that. Like Israel, he makes so much fucking money off his spine, like steak, like, you know, all this little shit from his YouTube channel. He makes so much money off his merchandise. Israel he gets so much residual income. And
Antoine, you got a question in the chat.
oh yeah, I got you for sure. Yeah, so I texted Mr. Longo last week. I texted him like on Tuesday. He just got back from Paris because the Matt Favola fight. He was cornering for Vola. And I was gonna try to get him a little bit in the future. A little bit up until the Aljamain fight, you know, so hopefully we can ask him about Aljamain's training camp and get some insight. But I met Longo. I was at UFC 300. I was walking in the casino, and I have a friend. You probably seen him on Twitter. His name is Jason Williams or whatever. He'll get like some tweets here and there, like that'll like be popping off on like Twitter and stuff like that for MMA. And he said, "Yo, Ray," and I said, "Fuck." I thought like it's a new friend I'm about to meet or whatever, and I'm about to like, you know. And I look to the right and I see Ray Longo just walking by himself, just in the casino. Like, yeah, no entourage. It was not a fighter, no one. He was walking by himself with his hands in his pocket, and I was like, "Oh shit," you know. And I walked up to him, and I just told him like, "Hey." I know you might not. That's what I told him, like verbatim. I said, "Hey, like a lot of people might not give you guys your credit, but like I just wanted to tell you, like I always considered you like a Hall of Fame coach, like a championship coach, like you know, like kind of like a Phil Jackson. Like when I said Phil Jackson, his eyes lit up. You know, in case I don't know, Phil Jackson was the coach of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. You feel me? So it was just really cool, like to like really tell him like, hey, and he has a 4th champion now. So if they put coaches in the Hall of Fame, they would put him in the Hall of Fame for sure. And unfortunately, I didn't. Unfortunately, I did not.
I did. That shit was sad, dude. Because it was just he was coaching. He said, "Turn around," and Favola turned around. And he got the knockout, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And his like eyes started tearing. Both coaches, their eyes started getting a little watery. That shit was sad. It was literally just like a cam on them both when it happened.
Like
That
it
shit
hurts,
was
bro.
sad.
It hurts, bro. Like for
Yeah,
real.
bro. Sarah and Weidman, they got a really cool group of dudes, you know.
And they're a good gym.
That's not a stuff to see someone you train with every day. That's like seeing one of your coworkers get put out. You know what I mean? Like that's got to suck.
Yeah,
Someone
bro.
you see every day. I mean,
Bro.
maybe different coworkers. Not everyone likes their coworkers, but
like, you know, they're getting half a paycheck, you know, just the fact that's a part of it. You lose, you get half a paycheck.
and
like,
you get suspended if you get knocked out. You get suspended for I don't know how long. I think it's like 45 or 90 days.
Like seriously, that's just like crazy, bro. And yeah, he was super nice to me. And he gave me his number. So I asked for his email. He gave me his number. And that's it. Of course, he'll be busy, so I won't want to blow him up or nothing like that. Just try to get an interview schedule here and there. But he's extremely busy, as you all know. He is the head of a world-class mixed martial arts gym. So, you know, like he'd be busy a lot. But he definitely he'll respond here and there whenever I hit him up. But he's a really great guy. He's super nice, and he is who you think he is when you see him on TV. Like he's exactly that when you talk to him in person. And he's super nice, bro. I was really surprised how welcoming he was when I walked up to him like that, you know, as a grown ass man and stuff. I took a picture and I got his number, and that was it. You feel me? But yeah, moving on to the end of the card. Definitely gotta give the lady the respect, the former 2-time UFC strawweight champion, Carla Cookie Monster Esparza. This is her last fight She's coming. She's about to go into retirement. She had a baby, which she took time off for. I just think she knows she wants to end her career on a win and not on a loss like that. You want to go out on a positive note. She won the belt twice. Unfortunately, she never got to defend it. It was strictly circumstantial with why she didn't defend the belt. She lost to two of the greatest strawweights of all time. It's pretty ironic because like she beat Rose, but Rose beat both of them, and like it's just like it's pretty crazy, bro. You feel me? And Rose knocked both of them out, but struggled against Esparza, So I just let you know, like it's just fighting, stylistic matchups, Obviously a future Hall of Famer, regardless of if she defended it or not. So many fighters grace the octagon and don't even go on a win streak to fight for the title. She did it twice, like 10 years apart, which was pretty crazy. This in fact she really won the belt again. She was on an undeniable win streak. She murdered Yan Xiaonan, like she blasted her, took her down, and just like cut her up with the elbows, really exposed her. She looked better against her than the champion did when she destroyed Yan Xiaonan that night. And yeah, even on that win streak, she looked great. Even in the Wei Li fight, she landed some decent strikes on the feet. It's just Wei Li had stopped playing games and took her down, and she had got it was an awkward submission from the back. And I think that, I think, she's a nice person. Like she looks like a great mom, you feel me? And she's one of the greatest wrestlers in the strawweight division's history, if not the greatest wrestler in the history of the strawweight division. Outside of Tatiana Suarez, of course. Gotta love Suarez for sure. Hopefully she fights for the belt soon. I really, really hope she fights for the belt. But her versus Wei Li is one of the greatest strawweight title fights of all time. And yeah, Tisha Pennington, the new mother and wife. She had a baby herself, so we got two moms coming in, fighting to see who's better. It's really cool. You feel me? Tisha, obviously, she's an extremely dynamic striker, really, really agile, and her combinations. One really, really good kickboxer. I think 4 out of her 5 losses are like to all the champions, like Wei Li, Joanna, Rose. Like she's a really good fighter, though she's never been shut out of a fight or anything like that. And that's what I'll say about her. She's really fast, extremely athletic, has a great superwoman punch, and great spinning wheel kicks. And yeah, it's a really, really striker heavy type of fighter, who I was going to pick in this fight. I get it, man. Like most of the time you never really pick a fighter who's retiring. You feel me? It's never really like a good thing to do. But in this case, I do think Esparza is going to get the victory in this one. I think she can get her to the ground. She's still a way better wrestler. She's still in great shape. If you look at her body on the embeddeds, her back is still as swole as ever. Her back is always so crazy. And I get it. The striking was never her strong suit, but she was always a good fighter. Like she's been on win streaks before. Even like the 5-5 win streak she was on, she looked really good. And in this matchup, I get it. She's the older fighter, but I think by like a year, she's beaten the way better competition in her career. I get it. She is the underdog. Even though she's about to retire, I think she wants to straight up go out on a victory. She's not gonna let her, like this. It's a video that's gonna live forever, and her son's gonna watch it one day. And I don't think she wants to go out on a sad note. She's gonna try her ass off to get this last victory. And hey, she wants that win money too. Come on now, she wants that win money as well. And since it's her last fight, Dana's gonna sprinkle a little bit something on top of that for sure. Especially being a 2-time champion and a Hall of Famer, she's in an exclusive club inside the UFC. Whether the fans like her or not, she has a golden name, as I always like to say. The moment a fighter wins the title, it's a golden name for the rest of their career. Of course, they might not defend the title, but anytime Cody Garbrandt fights, Bruce Buffer must say the former UFC bantamweight champion. So, yeah, man, I was going to go with Esparza in this matchup.
So for this fight's a little weird because Esparza hasn't fought since 2022, and Pennington hasn't fought since 2021. But
was it really that long?
Huh?
Was it that long? This is her last fight with the Ricci. Oh, that was 24. Yeah. That was I was
Wait,
about to say,
what are my notes saying? Was I looking at something wrong when I was taking my notes?
nah, you're straight. She
She hasn't
fought in
won since. Oh, I said fought. I meant she hasn't won since 2021. My bad.
2000.
My bad.
No, you're
My
fine. You're
bad.
good.
I'm
Now
tired
you're good.
as
You
fuck,
trying to play
man.
shit. Now you're fine, bro.
Um,
You're good,
yeah,
bro.
she
So,
hasn't won since 2021, and Esparza hasn't fought since 2022. So it's a little bit of a mixed match right there. I just don't think Esparza or Pennington has seen the comp that Esparza has seen. Um, I think Esparza is just gonna bring it in this fight. I see her getting, going to her wrestling and doing her thing. They're both short. 5-1 is insane. But I see this one probably going out to a decision, and Esparza getting the win in this one. Um, Getting the retirement win be big for her. Not super excited for this fight, but I'll watch it for sure.
yeah, and like I could see that. Oh, like because Carla said in the media day, Chris, that her retirement is definitive. Like she's done. Like she does not want to take damage no more. And she said like she wants to grow the family. So obviously that means she what wants to have another baby. So I get it. You know, you want to give the baby a sibling, like most parents do. You feel me? So congratulations to both these ladies on their great careers. They both do decide to retire tomorrow. I'll watch both of them 4 years. Um, Carla is one of the few fighters to come off the Ultimate Fighter and become champion. So, congratulations to her and her great career. Like I said, future Hall of Famer. When she first started her career, you probably didn't know that would be in her future. And she can be 50, 60 years old watching the UFC, knowing that regardless of the loss, all the legends have losses outside of Khabib and John Jones. That they, you know, that she's a future Hall of Famer, bro. Like she's, when the UFC is massive in the year 2050, and her son is a grown ass man, and she's a grandma. Like she'll be a grandma, like in the Hall of Fame. Like they're gonna ask her all about her fights and stuff like that. So I'm happy for her. And yeah, I mean, I got Esparza riding off into the sunset with the victory, most definitely.
Facts. Now we got to close off the night. Tim
Again,
Means, Court McGee.
all
Those will be
right,
the
bro.
first two to take the stage tomorrow.
So this one's pretty interesting. Even though it's the last one, still got to give it the same respect. So this fight, Court McGee, this could really be both these guys' last fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. Both these guys could really retire when this fight is over. I do think it is Court McGee's last retirement fight. I do think he will. I do honestly think it will be his last his last fight. He's from the state of Utah, so it is cool to see him the UFC show that love. When Bruce Buffer says fighting out of fighting out of Orem, Utah. So it is cool that he gets to fight at home like that. All his friends and family are probably going to be there, most definitely. He's the first fight of the night, so they get to see him fight right away. And yeah, man, it's a good card. Good fight. I mean, Tim Means is a massive Topology favorite, but and he's the favorite and on the actual betting odds. This is a pretty close fight, man. Like for me, man, like it's just a close one, man. Like it's like how good is Tim Means gonna look in the elevation, bro? At 40 years old, how good is Tim Means going to look in elevation? You feel me? I honestly don't know. Court McGee trains in elevation, so off rip, he already has that advantage. In terms of the body, they have Court McGee has the reach advantage, but Tim Means is 3 inches taller. Um, it just depends if Tim Means is gonna hurt Court McGee on the feet. I do think he will be the better boxer. You could say that for sure. He did get knocked out with an uppercut himself. He knocked out Andre Filio, but again, you can't take too much away from that. He was getting knocked out by everyone. I think Andre Filio again. He's 16-9 right now, and again, yeah, he got knocked out on in UAE Warriors after that on May 18th. So Tim Means' last knockout win, that dude's chin is low key gone. With all due respect. So me personally, I just think that man, it's a close one, man. I'm not gonna act like it's not a close fight, in my opinion. Um, it's like, is he gonna jab Court McGee to a decision? Like, I don't know. I think Court McGee's gonna be really wrestle heavy in this matchup and trying to get the fight to the ground. He trains in elevation, so if one guy's gonna gas out, it will be Tim Means. I don't think he's gonna knock out Court McGee. When's the last time Court McGee's even been KO'd? Don't get me wrong, like Jeremiah Wells.
He's been knocked out a year and a half ago by Matt Brown and Jeremiah Wells.
I was gonna say, I know the Jeremiah Wells KO was absolutely fucking devastating to Court McGee. You feel me? And because that was a crazy KO, bro. Shout out to Court McGee. He did get knocked out by Matt Brown after that. I think that was Matt Brown's retirement fight. When that happened, it's crazy. It was a right hook KO. That was Matt Brown's retirement fight, you know. So damn, bro. So he can be KO'd, man. It happened in 3 of his last fights. It happened in 2 of them. So he can be KO'd. You feel me? It's just, when's the last time Tim Means had like a KO over a dude that had like no chin? Because Jeremiah Wells has crazy fucking power. You feel me? Matt Brown, like that, like, I mean, he has crazy power too at 42 years old. I think Matt Brown has more career KOs than Tim Means. Like Tim Means, he has 20 wins by way of knockout, and I get it, bro. It's just it's the first fight of the night, but I don't want to get this shit wrong, bro. I mean, man, this man Court McGee has a win over Robert Whitaker, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a young Whitaker, but yeah, I mean, you know what, bro? Like, I'm gonna pick not teams. I'm gonna pick Court McGee to get a win in Utah at home, bro, to ride off into the sunset. I'm gonna pick Court McGee. He trains in Utah. I think he will be able to get the fight to the ground, just wrestle the whole time. I think he knows he does have the striking disadvantage in this fight. So I think Court McGee's gonna come out here and like just win a decision, man. I think he can win a decision, bro. He's at Utah. He probably had a crazy training camp for this fight. And again, if one person's gonna gas out, it will be Tim Means, especially at 40 years old. Technically, Court McGee is the younger fighter here. And yeah, man, like, I mean, it is what it is. You feel me? Like, it's the first fight of the night. I'm having some fun with it, like Nikki did last week. You feel me? I just want Court McGee to get a win at home as he's about to retire. And yeah, bro, that's it for me.
I have McGee winning by decision. They're both
experienced. Let's go.
They both have a lot of fights, like the OSP and Span fight.
Let's go.
Tim is a really super scrappy fighter, and Court McGee is chinny, but like all the other fights, the other 2 fights that this is similar to, it is in Utah at high elevation, and the fighter with the grappling advantage also has the elevation training advantage. So that, simple as said, clear the night. I got McGee winning this one by a decision.
Right. Hell yeah, baby. Yeah, man, that's it. That's 12 out of 12. Again, I want to appreciate y'all for joining us on this late night edition of the podcast. We went 2 hours this evening. Want to thank my boy Nikki. He was really tired tonight after his sparring session. Thank you so much for joining the podcast, bro. Really thank you for pulling through and actually giving your time and attention. You feel me? And that's it, man. It's a decent card. After reading over it, I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10. It's definitely a pay-per-view. We lost the Evloev and Sterling fight, and that would have made it even better. You feel me? But yeah, man, I think it's a good card. But you got any closing remarks for the card?
I'll give it like a 7.3. I'm excited for it. I mean,
7.3.
7.3. Yeah, I give it weird. It's like 12 hours away from Alex Pereira walkout. So I mean, the fights start in like 13 hours or so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Like we're on the. It's no.
Yeah, I think that fight goes to decision. I wouldn't say definitely. I mean, Tim Means could win by knockout, but yeah.
I just think he's like Court McGee's gonna play no games with his family in the crowd. I think he
grapple his ass off. He's not
gonna. He's gonna play no games, bro. He's playing no games with his family in the crowd. You're not gonna let your son or daughter let you get let you see get KO'd flush in your last fight. It's not gonna happen, bro. But that's it for me. Want to thank y'all again for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, y'all. Chris Mistak, Lane, Eustace, like thank you so much for joining us. Pickham was here in the beginning of the show. Again, it's thank y'all so much, so much, so much. Really do appreciate y'all for joining us. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. We're really trying to get this to the point where we get monetized, get some of that ching ching. You feel me? And thank y'all again. Like, we're the next card is Royval versus Tyra. Me and Nikki talked about going live on like Wednesday or Thursday for that card.
Wednesday or Friday for sure.
Wednesday or Friday.
Last minute would be Saturday morning.
So definitely keep a lookout for our Royval versus Tyra. Definitely want to do more of the fight nights too, not just the pay-per-views, of course. And that's a good fight night. I really want to see if Tatsuto Tyra can really like take that next level and really be like the number one contender at like 24 years old, bro. And him versus Pantoja is a crazy fight, crazy fight. Undefeated challenger if he beats Royval. And it's a fresh matchup too. A very fresh matchup. And yeah, like again, thank you guys for joining us so much. Thank you so much for all the compliments as well. I really want to make sure we have a good show for y'all. We never want to ramble on too long. I know we were talking about the Joker and stuff like that. Even before we get out of here, I will say that I do want to go see it in theaters. It's a rated R movie, pertaining to like superheroes and supervillains. So
watch it on your phone, bro. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch it on my phone till I can't.
Oh, really? Also, like, yeah, and I feel you. I think someone in the chat actually put in 1, 2, 3 movies. So,
brother, we use Russian link, brother. Who pay for movie?
No, we'll see how it goes. And again, thank y'all so much. It's late, and we both got to wake up pretty early. But y'all have a blessed night. Again, thank y'all so much for joining us. Really appreciate the activity in the chat. Y'all were talking the whole time, and we deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate that. Really keeps us going. Gives us big motivation for sure. The Terrifier 3.
I heard that's a marketing scheme when people walk out of movies or have seizures or throw up. I heard that's all marketing schemes, but who knows?
Oh, we will walk out of the intro. Really, for real? Damn, like I want to see that. Then that's pretty crazy, bro. Like, that one horror movie. It was one that came out recently. Like, there's one called Night Swim. It's called Night Swim, bro. Like, I haven't seen a really crazy horror movie in like one that actually made me like scared to go to bed. I mean, I'm a grown ass man at this point. Like, that's not really gonna happen. I had to be watching like a documentary that says like based on a true story or some shit like that. And like, some shit. Like if I watch like some serial killer stuff, then that's like, damn, because those are real.
I was pretty creeped out after watching I don't know if it was Hereditary or it was the other one by the same person who made that movie.
M. Night
Shyamalan. One of those creepy movies when there was some weird shit, but that was the last one where it was like you go to bed, you just have like the feeling you're being watched or something. You know what I mean? Like,
nah, you're right. I can see
that's it. That's the only time I can't fall asleep is when you think someone's watching you or something.
Watching you?
I'd be in the dark and I'd be like, yo, what if I just like move my phone away from my face and there's just someone right there? Yeah, I'm pulling guard right away. I'm not playing that shit. I'm going for an armbar.
Nah, I see why you would say that. I think it was A Quiet Place. That's what I wanted to go see. A Quiet Place. That's what I wanted to see. And yeah, bro, like, that's it for me, y'all. But yeah, we do like to watch movies and stuff like that. We'll talk about anything in here if you ever want to. Just definitely put like anything in the chat, whether it's a TV show recommendation. I am gonna watch The Penguin. I know Chris have recommended The Penguin. I do plan on watching that because I think that's rated TVMA, and I love it. Like when like superhero stuff is rated R like that. Because like if you read the comic books, people actually die in the comic books. It's not like it's always PG rated and there's no blood and stuff. Like people get like beheaded and murdered and all that stuff. So thank y'all again for joining us, man. Really love all these conversations for sure. And yeah, that's it for me, man. Unless you got something else you wanted to say.
I got one thing to say. Sharma.
Yeah.